part of Ukraine's regular army. The men are believed to be the first Americans captured by Russian forces since the Ukraine invasion began. Overdose deaths, connected to opioids are on the rise, and some parents are concerned about their children using social media to access them.
Sammy Chapman was 16 years old in high school when a drug dealer offered him a menu of prescription drugs on Snapchat and delivered it to his doorstep. The Drug Enforcement Agency says prescription drugs are being marketed to kids all over social media, but what they get is fentanyl, and one pill can kill. The DEA says drug dealers are using emojis to peddle pills to kids in code. Social media companies have caught on and say they are taking action.
Fox's Hillary Vaughn. Uber is reinstating an option to share rides with other customers in some cities.
Uber Pool was renamed UberX Share when it returned in November, but still wasn't available everywhere. It'll now be available in New York City, Los Angeles, Chicago, San Francisco, San Diego, Phoenix, Indianapolis, Portland, and Pittsburgh. The lower-cost service was suspended early in the pandemic. It allows riders to share an Uber and receive a discount. It plans to add additional locations this summer. Ginny Cosola, Fox News.
Hong Kong's iconic jumbo floating restaurant has capsized in the South China Sea less than a week after it was towed away from the city. The company says no one was injured. It had been a landmark in Hong Kong for more than 4 decades, serving Cantonese cuisine to more than 3 million guests, including Queen Elizabeth. It closed in 2020 due to the pandemic. I'm Rich Dennison, and this is Fox News.
Choosing health insurance for my family is difficult. I need to know our health insurance will protect us now and in the future. Take Care members have access to the island's largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs, and a high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers, including the convenient one-stop FHP Health Center and urgent care. My family choose Take Care. Your family should also consider choosing Take Care. Call 671-647-3526 for more information. Take Care, our island, your health plan.
Take your business to new heights with the United Business Credit Card. Earn 30,000 bonus miles after spending $3,000 within the first 3 months after account opening. Plus, earn 3 times the miles per $1 spent on United tickets through United until April 30th, 2023, and 2 times the miles thereafter. Visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to fhb.com United Business for more information and to apply for your United Business Credit Card today. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tumon location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
Half a day and good morning, Guam. It's 6:06 on Wednesday, June 22. I'm Donna De Jesus with a look at your local news on The Point. A mother charged with the death of her daughter who was drowned before being taken to Two Lovers Point remains without an attorney. The grand jury has indicted 28-year-old Aisha Nichelle Copeland, a Navy sailor and young mother, with charges of aggravated murder and murder, both as first-degree felonies. Although Copeland made too much money to be appointed a public defender, her potential lawyer, Randy Cunliffe, said she may qualify for court-appointed counsel. Court documents state that Copeland drowned her 16-month-old daughter in a bathtub last month and tried to drown herself by placing a microwave on her body to keep herself under the water. Copeland told investigators that she argued with her fiancé the night before. Authorities found Copeland at Two Lovers Point carrying her daughter in a carrier and threatening to jump. Copeland is being held at the Department of Corrections Women's Facility on $100,000 cash bail and was ordered to be moved to the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center Annex at the prison. Meanwhile, a drunk driver who live-streamed his joyride to prison pleaded not guilty yesterday. 32-year-old Ciro Sanaman Ratonong went live on social media when he was drinking beer and driving before he crashed into another car in Dedido last month. Ratonong appeared distraught when he live-streamed the moments leading up to the May 18 crash. Police say he continued to drink beer in front of them A man and his wife who were inside the other car were hospitalized. The woman suffered from a fractured bone in her pelvic area, and her husband had bleeding and swelling to the brain and nerve damage to his eye. Retanong was charged with aggravated assault, vehicular negligence, driving while impaired, reckless driving that caused injuries, and other charges. We'll have more news after this.
Gas is expensive, so let the bank come to you. Through our remote deposit capture, you can deposit your checks into your account from your phone. And with our Dynamite Bank Pacific Visa debit card, you can use your money anytime, anywhere. It's the perfect combo.
Now we're banking on the future. Services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Crank it up.
Governor Lilian Guerrero signed Senator Joe San Augustin's Bill 295 into law yesterday, a 6-month moratorium on fuel surcharges and most liquid fuel taxes is effective immediately. Lawmakers passed the measure last week during the emergency session on several bills tackling rising fuel prices on Guam. Prices are likely to keep rising, but the now Public Law 36-105 suspends the excise tax of 15 cents per gallon of diesel and 14 cents per gallon of regular grade gas. The governor says the rising cost of gas is not related to the pandemic, but to the Ukraine conflict. She adds that the situation cannot be controlled, but local taxes can be. Local gas companies say that the tax moratorium would translate into savings for customers. Meanwhile, a group of senators is pushing for the governor to extend another round of stimulus payments to offset the rising costs of fuel. Senator Telo Taitagui has requested for another payout of $300 through the Programang Salapi and raise the ceiling on income eligibility to allow more residents to participate. Taitagui says the governor allocated $11.7 million to the program and has a remaining $8.3 million at the end of the program. The governor says there would have to be a review of the guidelines for the money before the income ceiling could be raised or removed on the Programang Salapi, which is funded through federal American Rescue Plan money. The stimulus program launched in March with an income limit of 300% of the poverty level, with eligibility starting at below $44,460 in annual income for a single person. And those were your top stories right here on The Point. Now here's Ray with your weather.
I'll get you some weather early here. We got scattered showers and thunderstorms. Afternoon, partly sunny skies with a high near 86 degrees. Heat index will make it feel like 90. East wind 7 to 11 miles an hour. Scattered showers and thunderstorms in the forecast for this evening as well. Mostly cloudy. Overnight lows of about 77 degrees. Let me get this up on the screen so you can see what it is that the guys over at the National Weather Service are looking at and why they're saying we could see some thunderstorms and scattered showers this evening. Same thing for tomorrow and tomorrow night as well. 30% chance of rain here today. Some of it has already fallen where you are. Wet road conditions maybe going to slow you down. Nah, I like driving there. I like to see if my tires are actually touching the roadway. You know what I mean? Let's do some hydroplaning. See how much fun we can have with that. Hold on. Come on, your kids got to learn sometime. Feels like a ride at Disneyland, doesn't it? We got sunrise this morning at 5:55, and we'll watch the sunset. We'll gather for the sunset this evening at 6:50. Hashtag tell the others. There it is. News and weather together on The Point, brought to you by Bank Pacific. Banking on the Pacific for 67 and some odd years.
As part of our ongoing commitment to keeping you connected, GTA is proud to participate in the Affordable Connectivity Program. The Affordable Connectivity Program, or ACP, provides eligible households with a $30 credit toward internet or mobile services. And now, if you qualify for ACP, you can get internet for as low as $28 a month. We're making it simple for both new and existing customers to apply this credit toward GTA internet and mobile services. To see if you qualify, visit gta.net. GTA, we start with you.
Go green, go hybrid, go to Nanbo Insurance, and your next power bill is on us. Insure your hybrid car at Nanbo and get up to $350 towards your next power bill. That's instant savings for keeping our island clean and green. Nanbo has been providing Guam with over 50 years of reliable and affordable auto insurance. At Nanbo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit nanbo.com or call 477-9754 for details. Portions of the program being brought to you by my pals over at APL American President Lines. Global presence with a local home. Also being brought to you by Wendy's. The summer has begun at Wendy's. It's one of my favorite sandwiches in the whole wide world. Or not sandwiches, my favorite salads in the whole wide world. It's the strawberry summer salad. We've got, obviously, strawberries in there. Applewood smoked bacon. We've got these candied almonds that go in there. And plus this incredible champagne vinaigrette. Don't worry, it's virgin. You're not going to get, it's not like you get a slush while you're going to be enjoying this. We've got the sliced up lettuce in there as well. Find that for lunch or anytime, really, at Wendy's.
The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
I got it. Get started here this morning. Hey, welcome to the program. Excuse the mess. It is the Ray Gibson Show on 93.3 The Point. My name is Ray. Thrilled to be here with you. Just kind of curious about that. I think I read somewhere, Real Joe, that today is supposed to be the longest day of the year.
It is.
How do you know this?
I'm just guessing, man. You know what? I almost quit my job today, bro.
No. You're not allowed to quit the job. Sorry. You see,
it was so rainy and cold.
Is not accepted here this morning. But do me a favor. Google that, would you? See the longest day. I don't know. I saw a reference to it
the
today.
Summer solstice kind of thing? Is that what it is?
I don't know. It's some kind of cosmic thing. I don't know if we've got to call the Star Lady for this or one of the idlets. I'm just thinking it might be something worth talking about. I know why it's going to be a long day.
You got that right. It's the summer solstice.
It is the summer solstice today.
Oh, here I am again making things up.
Well, wait. I got two different thoughts. I got two different visions of what's happening today going on in my head. So is it summer solstice really and for true?
Google said so.
Google says so. Real Joe.
Yeah, it is true.
Okay, so that would make today the longest day of the year.
It is.
So it's exactly.
So make the most of it, man.
Well, it's going to be hard. It's going to be, it's going to sad. My morning starts off with a little bit of sadness here today because, he's excited about it. Former Governor Carl T. C. Gutierrez and Jerry in the front end, the pointy end of a Philippine Airlines flight bound for Manila here this morning.
Nice.
And golly, Mabuhay. Yes, we earned the Mabuhay miles while you're out there. Significant technology. He's having a good time already on the flight. But golly, it's the day's just less bright without Carl Gutierrez.
You're right, man.
I've just got that.
You can just borrow that sunshine, Philippines.
It's 6:15 in the morning. 888-825-5888-TALK. That's the number to call if you want to talk to Real Joe. He's over there, and he will get the phone, and he will engage you in conversation. And if it works out well, you'll be able to get all the way to the actual on-air side of the program, just like Pam did yesterday, just like Andy did yesterday, and a bunch of others. Yes, and then with news and information and headlines all morning, there is Donna D. Good morning. Nice to see you there.
Donna D.
Hello.
Abby, welcome to the longest day of the
am
year.
I awake?
Do you ever have that where you're just kind of already talking on the microphone and wonder, I might still be in bed dreaming, right? Maybe this is just a.
I did. You know what? I had a dream.
Radio,
it's bad when you dream about work.
Radio people all have this dream. So how did it work for you? Were you here, but you couldn't get the internet going, and you had to ad-lib the news? Did you ever get into? Does that dream ever get in there?
No, it's nothing like that. It's just, I don't know. It just feels like a regular day. But in your dream, you feel like, I feel like I'm not supposed to be here today.
It's one of those things that you get into this business, you have those weird kind of, am I dreaming? Is this work? Because if I'm not dreaming, this might be the most disastrous day of the entire year. That's the way radio guy dreams work. At any rate, hey, welcome to the thing. There's lots to talk about today. A number of celebrities that have birthdays today. People that I actually like. Lindsay Wagner, the Bionic Woman.
Oh, God.
77 73 years old.
Still crushing.
Ojai, California. Absolutely. Did you ever like want her and Steve Austin to get together and just, like boyfriend and girlfriend?
Like 100 babies.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The $100 million babies.
That's what I wanted.
Would be how much they cost. Adjusted for inflation, how much is Lindsay Wagner worth here today? Bruce Campbell, one of my favorite actors. I know Dennis Benzer's watching the program here this morning and can identify every character that the guy has played in every movie that he's been in. But Bruce Campbell, most notably from Evil Dead. Give me some sugar. Come here. Give me some sugar. This is my boomstick. All right. Yeah, I guess you kind of had to be there anyway. 6:17 in the morning. Lots and lots in the table of contents. But can I tell you what I engaged in yesterday? This is in anticipation of Real Joe successfully connecting with BJ Penn, MMA guy, BJ Penn, MMA fighter BJ Penn, and currently Republican candidate for governor of the state of Hawaii. And so on the off chance that we might be able to hook up, I don't know, we got a hold of my sister got a hold of his mother or the 2 or 3 degrees
Dude, we're related somehow.
must be. Tell me about going to Hilo High School, home of the Warriors. But anyway, so there were connections made between my sister and his mother Lucille, and so maybe something might come up today. But I thought, if I am lucky, maybe I better do some research on him. And never mind the MMA stuff, because I'm clueless when it comes to that. But it was nice spending a lot of time yesterday watching Instagram and the reels that he has up on Instagram, and just some of the the notoriety. I told you about that meeting that he had with the educators. All you guys out of here. When I'm getting all you guys out of here.
Fired.
So today's theme is Huli the system, and the reason why I get kind of excited about this is because it's just nice to be able to see somebody that is completely and totally outside of the realm of politics. Watching BJ Penn in Hawaii feels about the same as watching Donald Trump a few years ago as he began to make that launch into the White House. And it's like, screw the Republicans, screw the Democrats. I'm here for the people. I'm here to make America great again. And I feel the same way when I'm watching BJ Penn talking to his people and people talking about BJ and the ideas that he has that people have readily adopted. So today, in tribute and homage to BJ Penn and one day being able to talk to him, the theme for today's program is Huli the system. Now, do you know what Huli is?
Yeah, it's a surf gang, man.
It's not the surf gang. No
one listens to Turtle.
That's the Kamaka guys.
Okay.
No, I know
the
a girl
huli.
named Kamaka. Huli, you know what huli chicken is, right?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you ever eat huli
sure,
chicken?
Yes.
You know why it's called huli?
Why?
Because you turn it a lot. That's the Hawaiian word for turn. So you huli the chicken and you turn the sucker while you're doing it in the barbecue. You huli the thing. Also, if you're paddling a canoe and it flips over, that's a huli.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so what they're...
Got it now, man.
What they're literally saying here is turn the system. Huli the system. Turn it around so it works in reverse. So it feels more like the government is working for us as opposed to us working for the government. And so that's, if you're pondering a run for political office, today you're holding on to your packet, everything is filled out, you got all that BS paperwork done, and you got all the signatures, and you're pretty groovy about it, that ought to be your call to arms, to turn the system, huli the system. We don't need any more of what we've had in the past. We want completely new and guys and girls that are going to engage the system so it works for us. So we're not all sitting around here looking at high gas prices, high utility prices, runaway inflation, and then we hear that the government's sitting on $300+ million. Know what I mean? 888-825-888-TALK. If that spurs you towards some kind of thought. One other thought in my head. I went to the gas station this morning to pick up the newspaper and check the price on the way out. Still $6.48.9 at the Shell station down the street.
Pump, yeah.
So I thought, well, maybe I'd see what it looks like over at the mobile station by Kmart. Did you know they're closed?
Oh, yeah, they've been closing a lot.
Late
nights.
The pumps are closed, and there's no lights on the thing. And
over there, the pandemic kind of shut them down their hours. They weren't getting many people late at night.
Yeah, I think a Mobile on Marine Corps Drive headed in that direction. So that's the question I've got for you guys. Do me a favor, take a look as you're driving around here. Like I said, Shell still $6.49, still roughly $6.50 a gallon. I'm told that 76 Circle K at about 10 o'clock last night was going to reduce their pump prices to reflect the new law that the governor signed in yesterday.
Yeah, wow.
But I haven't heard. I drove by but forgot to look at the 76 on by the airport. So do me a favor, if you're driving around this morning, find out what the number is over at the mobile station. Find out what the number is over at the 76.
Between you and me, Ray.
Yeah.
Gas and pneumatic station. $3.
Whoa. At the pneumatic gas station?
It's whatever.
I'm driving down now, 6:22 in the morning. Who's my co-pilots today? These guys.
Sometimes you want to go where everybody knows your name. And they're always glad you came. You want to be where you can see our troubles are all the same. You want to be where everybody knows your name. You want to go where people know people are all the same. You want to go where everybody knows your name.
We're all tight around here. Everybody knows your name, and if I don't know your name, if I don't know your number, I'm going to call. I'll have my sister call your mom, and then your mom's going to call you. And the instructions. Boy,
your mom.
Boy, the guy in the radio station on Guam wants to talk to you, boy. Come on, and he knows people because I think I have a picture. Hold on a second. Let me get this up on my screen here. I have a picture. It's not of the guy, not of BJ Penn with. Oh, I don't have the picture ready to go. I thought, no, it's there. It's there. All right, so here's a guy that hangs out with BJ Penn, hanging out with our own Frank the Crank.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe we'll get hold of Frank and see if, hey, Frank the Crank.
Try Frank, man.
Frank the Crank for governor.
Yes.
You want to do that?
Yeah,
Frank
I asked him, and he said, no, I don't know, man.
Come on. Already prettiest first lady with Sarah, right? Okay, 888-8255-888-TA, okay. There's another picture. This one here is of BJ and one of our favorite Hawaiian politicians, Tulsi.
Tulsi Gabbard.
Hey, Shelly, do you know you got Tulsi's?
What's up, girl?
Tulsi's mom's phone number. Can you hook us up with that?
See you on the lanai.
Live large like you're from 26th floor of the Chivaki Tower. Okay, so number one here this morning. Anybody surprised when I say Rico Blancafor?
Oh, big man.
And then Joe Cruz is in there, but he doesn't really count. So official number two is going to be Empty Farron. Dennis Benzer says coffee. Are you having that kind of morning? Didn't see at the place last night. Must be otherwise other location self-inflicted head wound. Stephen Applegate is online. And Real Joe, if you were with me getting my newspaper this morning, you would have met Stephen Applegate and would have known. He's a real human being.
He's a real person.
Absolutely. Okay. He's holding the door open for me.
I'm going to take your word for it.
No, he was there. He was hanging out with me for all of about 10 seconds. Pam Duvall, that's the hot sister of the program. Auntie Bennett Lujan Duenas is there. Nick Perlowski. Greg Basnight says, good morning, Guam, and all the Point Familia. Maganda Namagapo. Anna Marie is there. Colin Clark, the amazing Colin Clark, dad of Ray Ray and others. Dennis Larson, the B-man, saying, good morning, Point, and Juanita Machi. Buenas noches, Sandra Rages.
Viva Sandra.
Like that. Steve says, look who showed up to work. Yeah, I got nothing else to do. I'm already awake. Might as well mosey over the office, see what's happening. Torn Duck from the upper left-hand corner of the United States mainland online. Gemma Bustamante is there. Lena McDaniel. Jennifer Poschnitker is chiming in. And we've got Sarita Garin says, hello, everyone, with 1, 2, 3 Valentines on it.
Wink, wink.
Turning heads. Do we have any more pictures? Do we have any more video of you doing hula dancing?
Oh, many.
Why? Never mind the Valentine's hearts. We want to see the hula dancing, Sarita,
Yes.
and all of the other girls that you were hula dancing
your
with.
hips.
We want to see where's the show? When is the recital? When are we holding out? What are we holding out for on that? Rudy Rodolfo, the original Burger King, is online. Make sure you swing by Burger King and check out those free tickets for the circus that is here. Rico Blancaflor says, is gas cheap yet? No, but the gas lighting will be free tonight on the governor's State of the Island address, starting in about 6:30 over at the legislature. Let me see. Harvey Egna is online. Harvey's going to give me some economic advice here. Give the government some economic advice. Dan Rasal is there, and Vivian Castro Leon. Buenos and Hafa Day. Jose Tetpahagu. Whopper Wednesday, Rudy Rodolfo says. Again, the Whoppers will be on the governor's State of the Island address starting at 6:30 tonight. That might be a punchline I use all day long. See, told you, real person. Dennis Larson, good morning. Charlie Robinson, sup, homie. Post Canteen says, good morning. A couple of things I want you to keep in mind. Number one is the jackpot, the Mega Bingo jackpot for Thursday.
Yeah.
It's $12 million, I think. Might be more. And then there's a Saturday, which is big as well. VFW up in Gigo. All right, it's not Mega Bingo. It's a different game. The Queen of Hearts thing, almost $4,000 is going to be perhaps given away this Friday night at 7 o'clock. You want details, right-click on Post Canteen and send him a message. Wacky Tobacco Wednesday, says Charles Craw. He's starting a little bit early.
Hey.
Wake and bake, as we say. Simon Sanchez from the Consolidated Commission on Utilities is there. I got Alex Affligwe. Good morning, Chairman. Joanne Taitanu. Kohulu Jablu Dan Fatotu, says Colin Clark. Joy and Pinko online. And let me see. Valerie says, not just yet. It's down a couple of cents, says Valerie S.A. Untalan. Everybody waiting on at least, a 23-cent drop in a gallon?
Yeah.
Let's see what happens.
Celebrate.
Manny and Ning rages. This is Sandra's mom and dad online. I got Jerome McDonald says, good morning, 93.3. Today, my last day in Ireland. Here I come, California. And he said, before he was going on this trip to Ireland to investigate, the land of our ancestors, McDonald, Gibson, etc. He said he'd try to call in, and he sent me a note this morning. Says, can't do it. Too drunk to dial. No drunk dialing today. All right. Glad you're not flying the airplane. Sandra Rages says, I guess that means RJC is streaking. Somebody was talking about streaking if the prices of gasoline went down yesterday. My bro Mark Cruz is waving at us this morning, and Margaret Estacchio. Good morning to, let me see, Ismael Velez. All drunk driver also had an all-in sticker. What? The drunk driver also had an all-in sticker. We're talking about the guy
The live stream guy?
The live stream guy who now says he's not guilty.
Yeah.
I'm trying to sort out. I'm not a lawyer.
He didn't care. He said
not a lawyer, but I don't play one on the radio. But I mean, if there's actual footage existing, like on Facebook somewhere, of you driving drunk. I mean, the camera's on you, camera in one hand, and video of you drinking in the other one, and then crashing into somebody. That should be significant.
Move to strike, Your Honor.
Incriminating.
Fruit of the poison
and
is
he was
fine.
still drinking in front of the cops.
He was still drinking in front of the officers. It just, I'm wondering how that defense is going to work. Dennis Benzer says hair looks good. 2 days in a row. Are you using product?
Stevie?
No,
Mousse?
actually. Just shampoo.
Not the mousse.
Just pert. Just a little bit of pert in the hair.
I like
that's
how
all
it
I need.
bounces, Ray.
Today at 11:30, I will sit down in the chair of Ashley Haircut.
Oh, wow.
I finally made the connection. As it turns out, she wasn't as busy as I thought. And she says, "Oh yeah, I got you here about 12:30 tomorrow." I said, "Nah, it's too late.
Wow, yeah.
That's nap time. I need something a little bit earlier." So 11:30, I will be seated in the chair.
God, I hope you make it there. Swear, man.
We'll work on it. Maybe we ought to have a police escort. Actually, I'm thinking about it. The gas light is on. Speaking of gaslighting, the gas light is on in the car now, which means I've got about 20 miles or so that I can go before I actually have to put gasoline back in the car.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm asking, has the price gone down anywhere? Because it wasn't at the Shell station down the street, so I'm curious as to what it is at the Mobile or the 76 where you might happen to be at. Bandits on the line. Ken Augustin is there. I see Cheryl Ochai checking in. Gas prices are due to war in Ukraine. Hush. No, wait a second. Hold on. I've got a picture of that. A lot of people are saying that all the Republicans are saying it has nothing to do with the price. With the guy in Russia, Putin, putting pen to ink. And I have a picture of him somewhere in the thing. I'll look for it during the break. But I've got a picture of Putin actually signing off on the increase of the prices of gasoline in the United States of America.
Thank you, Vlad.
It's a photograph on the internet, so it must be true. Let me see. Carlos Craw, RJ, you know what they say about standards. If she doesn't meet them, then go ahead and lower them. Colin Clark says, in regards to them asking for another round of the Programa Chalapi, Colin says, 300? F that, $1,000 to all taxpayers that filed in 2021. I like to see that happen quarterly because I think we got the money for it. Ricanata is there. Frank Menu.
Hey, people,
Oh, my
bunker.
God.
Wow,
Ay,
man.
day. Fully the system here, real Joe.
That's right.
Mark Voigtland checking in from the States. Hey, there's my friend Gina Cono, Ron and Cindy De La Rosa. Online here this morning, Harvey Egna says, I'm sorry, but 300 won't do it. We need $1,000 a quarter for a year. And Your Honor, Your Holiness or Highness or whatever we're calling you these days, $70 million to GPA so they can hold down the price of electricity. That's about what I think they're going to need. I'm not, in the front office, but if there was another bunch of largesse out of the American Rescue Plan funds that would go to hold the rates down for a while, I'm sure that would be welcome. They couldn't wait any longer, and so the PUC the other night decided that was what was going to happen. We're going to get an increase. And I'm hearing from people, a buddy of mine, Dave, talking about the power bill that a couple of months ago, $600 some odd dollars, and last month was like $800 some odd dollars, and this month over $1,000 for the power bill. For the power bill.
What are you doing in there, man?
Well, that's all you do. You spend all your time in there. What's going on? A lot of it can be attributed to the fact that it is, oh my God, hot here on Guam. And the other part is, we're running the air conditioners, and you're going, well, I've got the thing set at 76, but the house is hot, and it takes a lot more energy to get the house cooled to 76 degrees. And so, yeah, you're going to see. Take a look at your power bill. And never mind the number at the bottom. There's not much that can be done about that. It's the number of kilowatt hours that you're using. What's your average daily kilowatt hour? Now, in regular, not, oh my God, hot Guam days, my standard, I want to say, is about 21, 25, 20, no more than about 30 kilowatt hours a day. And then as it started getting warmer, my kilowatt consumption went over 50. And lately, if I'm at the house most of the day, and I try not to be anymore.
Yeah.
It's easy, 70 kilowatt hours a day, and then you multiply that times 30. What's a new number going to be? 35, something like that.
And you
Multiply
have a
times
white
that.
roof too, don't you?
It's white-ish.
Oh.
I had it. It was blasted. I want to say
your roof.
September last year, but I didn't get around to painting it. And now it feels like it's more and more urgent for me to paint it. But we're also heading into the rainy season, and it's not a wise idea to try to get that roof coated if it's wet. Charlie Robinson asking, is there an ice skating / hockey rink on the island? There was a time, once upon a time. Did you go when they had the skating rink over at GPO?
Memories.
Donna, did you ever try that out?
In the corner of my mind.
You're going to look at me like...
The ice skating.
You remember
was outside?
They had a little ice skating rink on the inside over at GPO, and I want to say where they eventually put Chuck E. Cheese, but it wasn't an ice rink. It was just a piece of material that you could skate on. But they used to have...
that was cutting board.
Over by... Yeah, it was like a cutting board.
Polyurethane cutting board.
Over by where the old Chili's is, I guess Longhorn, isn't that where they built up this thing? Looked like a warehouse.
Yes, I remember that one.
Had chillers and snow. There was snow
snow
inside. Yeah. Did you go to that?
I did not, man.
I did not go either.
Yeah, I didn't go. I remember seeing it and heard about it, but people kept telling me like, "Oh, don't go there because the snow is dirty."
I'm
like, okay,
bro.
Yeah, because nobody washed their hands when they went in.
The yellow snow.
Holy the system, flip the script, do it, Guam says Sean. Jason Dinkle online, Joanne Titano, Kevin Kanata, Don Murfallen. Good to see Joe and Goko there, my buddy Nate Horn. Brad Wood is online, Greg Fausto, Gigo Zarhet is hanging out. Ruben Mortera. There's Janine Bloss.
Good morning, Janine.
Good morning, Janine. Nice to see you there. Look so nice this morning. I can't even see you, but I'm sure you look nice this morning. Sarita says, the struggle is real. Living on Guam is becoming too expensive. When Rowie online. Summer solstice is Frank Meno, Valerie and Toulon, and Big Sister Shelley's online. I got but Charlie asking, where's Mana? Mana turned in her packet for the legislature the other day on Friday.
That's everyone's excuse, man.
They're
not showing up to work.
Yeah, coming to work. Hey, yeah, I'm running for senator. Mana now is a de facto for real candidate for the legislature, and as such, if I put her on the air, then that means I got to give equal time to everybody else, and that may include people I don't like or don't care to interview. So it's easier for her to just step away from the microphone, and that's all right. We got Donna here to take care of it for. It's the 21st, Ray. The 21st is summer solstice. Okay, Heather Perez online. I got Who else is playing around? Linda Gabriel. Biden fell off his bike due to overinflation of his tire, according to a shared post. There's another meme floating around where it's Biden and Pee Wee Herman. They put Biden's head on Pee Wee's body. Vince Mesa. I once ate lunch with BJ Penn at BJ Barbecue. True story. Brennan Fausto. There's the Jigo Jarhead I was thinking of. Vince Mesa online. That's Vince Guitar, not Vince Senator. I got Charlie Robinson, you're already working. Okay, I'm looking to see if the people are get to a point every once in a while where people just start talking to each other. Brandon says, the Jarhead up for Ray's show. Nice. Randy Landis is there. William John Shadowin is watching. Gasoline in Ireland, $12 a gallon, says Jerome McDonald. So obviously it could be worse. I'm sure there might be people in the government going, that sounds like a challenge. I'll bet we could meet that. Jane Mel Limoquet watching the program. Nice to see you there. And Gerald Young. Edwin Kitsutu. Detwin is my nickname for the guy. Ooh, why is the hair not gray but the beard is? Are you talking about me? Don't know. I don't know why, but I'm not unhappy with that. Mark Anthony is there. Patrick A. Martha Torres online, and all kinds of other folks. 6:38 in the morning. Huge crowd tonight. And do me a favor, too. Huge crowd today. So I read,
okay,
you know, I got tonight.
You know what? It's okay.
No, I was reading a line. Kenley Guerrero says SOTI tonight, not State of the Island. Apparently, it's State of Illusion is what he says. Looking to see if I've got any other new names and people that have found their way to the program. There's my friend Dean Bates, Jeff Pleadwell from Pirates Cove online, Joe Dizon, et cetera, et cetera. Gas on base, says Harvey, is 507. I don't know if we're going to get a bite out of that because I don't think they actually pay any of the liquid fuels tax. I don't think if that's part of the components that make up base gasoline. 6:38 now, as I said, and do me a favor, hit the like, share button and follow on whatever it is that you're watching or listening on. That way, whenever we click the button on the gizmo here, you will get a notification that we're live so you don't miss a minute of this program or Tall Tales in the Afternoon with Bob Klitsky, or for that matter, just a reminder, working with Candidate News here for a debate, unofficial confirmation from both of the lieutenant governor candidates for the Democratic Party that they're willing to start talking about it, unconfirmed as we say. So we're massaging dates, we're massaging times, and all that kind of thing. And if you don't otherwise hear about it, when we turn on the machines, you'll get a notice that says we are live with that particular debate, shooting for, I want to say, the 12th of July. For those of you that want to mark it down, I'll try to remember to make an event out of it. Speaking of events, time to take a look at what the big news and the headlines are. If you don't know what's going on Guam, here's a primer with Donna De Jesus. Donna, what happened?
Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio has tested positive for COVID-19 for the second time using a home test kit. He first tested positive August 2020, a few days after the governor's own positive result. The governor's director of communications, Crystal Pacuasin Agustin, says Tenorio will work from home for the duration of his isolation. And the Boy Scouts of America is not contributing $55 million to a Guam Clergy Sex Abuse Trust Fund. Without this contribution, Guam clergy abuse survivors could be looking at a settlement of between $37 million and $52 million instead of up to $107 million under a current proposal. The price of regular gas dropped by 19 cents after the governor signed the Gas Tax Relief Act into law yesterday. The measure suspended the excise tax of 15 cents per gallon of diesel and 14 cents per gallon of regular grade gas. The suspension will be in effect for 6 months. And Delegate Michael St. Nicholas and his running mate Sabrina Salas Matanani were the first gubernatorial ticket to file its candidacy yesterday. The team has a renewed call to the governor to release more federal pandemic relief funds to residents. St. Nicholas and Salas Matanani will be challenging Governor Lulian Guerrero and Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio in the Democratic primary. And those are your local headlines on The Point.
I got you. 6:41 in the morning. I'm looking for somebody had posted something I thought was kind of interesting, and it was a question for all of the wives out there. What are you currently hiding from your husband?
Oh, wow. Here we go,
What are
Ray.
you? No, I'm
Here
not
we go,
trying-
man.
I'm not talking about that.
Ah, the worms.
No,
They're
no,
coming
no, no.
out.
No, I'm asking. I'm asking. They say every relationship, you don't have to be married. Somebody is hiding something from their spouse. Somebody's hiding something from their partner, and I'm curious what it is.
It's her feet, Ray.
The thing that I posted, and it sounds. I'm beginning to see and hear more about this just as I had read it. But apparently, watch out here, guys, because she might be hiding a pair of scissors from you. She might be hiding a pair of scissors. Yeah, because you've lost all of the old ones. You've lost every other's good scissors.
Or they used it to cut something they weren't supposed to cut and damaged.
And damaged it. The kitchen shears, honey, stay in the kitchen.
Why am I reminded of Lorena?
I don't know. Well, because it's I don't know. I think she used what do you call that? Trimmers, hedge trimmers on that one. Anyway, ponder that, guys. Ask your woman, ask your partner what it is that she's hiding from you and why. I guarantee there is something. It's 6:42 on the Ray Gibson Show. This is the meme that I was looking for, and I think the governor even alluded to that when she signed off on the bill. I thought I heard Bob Klitsky reading where she's talking about the increase in gasoline and the price of gasoline going up because of Vladimir Putin and the Russian invasion of Ukraine. And I need to. Bob did it yesterday, and I got to do it this morning. Don't drink that Kool-Aid. It's not true. The price of oil had already been on the rise since January of 2021 when Joe Biden took off and signed off on a bunch of executive orders. That's when the price of oil was going up. It was further exacerbated by the Russian invasion of Ukraine. But this whole inflation train that we're on when it comes to oil has everything to do with Joe Biden and all of the sweeping, get out from under. And the governors, they did it again. She was talking about it again this morning, or somebody was. I'll find it in a newspaper. I'd actually circled it. While she says, it's page 4 of today's Guam Daily Post under fuel tax. While there is more work to be done to achieve a comprehensive long-term solution to the rising cost of fuel, including a more meaningful transition to lifestyles that are less reliant on fossil fuels. Okay, I don't want to live that lifestyle.
The goals.
I don't want to live that lifestyle. I don't want to ride a bike to work. I don't want to go find Mr. Titano, Captain Guam, and get one of his Carabaos so I can tool around on the weekend. I don't want
China
to do that.
around here already, Ray.
And I like being able to use. I like it when you click on the light switch these days and the light comes on, because somewhere out there's a very good chance that Simon Sanchez and JB are burning some oil. And we will eventually get out from under that. But I don't know what it is with the Democrats and this energy cult that they're in, that they want it to happen overnight. Lifestyles that are less reliant on fossil fuels. Okay, you first. You do it first. I start seeing you drive around in an electric car with your driver and your husband getting out from under that ridge line and getting an electric car. Yeah, maybe I'll consider it. You be the example. Be the man in the mirror if you want. 6:44 on the Ray Gibson Show. I'll be right back.
Half a day, this is Josh here at APL. Our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apo.com.
Are you looking for a new place to hang out with your friends? Let's go along the sidelines at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Located at 154 Iriarte Road, Unit 4 and 5 in Tamuning behind Royal Bigs. Sidelines, a hidden gem with nothing but great things to offer. Great atmosphere, great food, top shelf drinks, and a great team. What are we waiting for? Let the fun begin at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Open daily from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. See you there.
Gotcha. 6:45 Ray Gibson Show being brought to you by the team over at Security Tunnel. That's Ron and Kim's joint, one of the prettiest buildings on Marine Corps Drive. Still one of the prettiest buildings on Marine Corps Drive, which is I gotta give them a little bit of props for this. They come up with a beautiful design, and it looks so good that some of the derelict places that were kind of in the area, they just bulldozed them. We can't make our place look as nice as that, so we'll just take this down to the foundation. Good job. The other good job that they do there is keeping track of titles. If you're buying or selling and want to make sure that piece of the job is clear, of any hassles, then they are the people that will do that. It's a security title. It's a title. What's the word I'm looking for? Yeah, just make sure everything is fine with Ron and Kim at Security Title. So we go from there directly into traffic. I see what the game is. Is there traffic afoot now? Let's see. Anderson Air Force Base, a little bit of traffic up there. Let me zoom in so we can see just how bad that is. Oh, it's not terrible at all. A little bit of traffic at the intersections of 1 and 3. Looks like all the other intersections up in Datadu are running fairly clear. Might see a little bit in the upper Tumon and the Tamuning area, but I don't see anything crazy that is going to back you up, except what's going on around Manila, maybe over by Onward and the golf course there. A little bit slower traffic. I don't know if there's an accident or anything. If you were there and see something, 888-8255. Got the camera out, 797-8255. That is the number for the meme machine. Got some dogging out traffic on Route 8 getting into the downtown Agutnia area. You will see traffic at the intersections starting at 8, 10, and 16. Not a whole lot that's happening over at the intersection of 10 and 15. A little bit of traffic up around the Ordat, Salampago area. And then, oddly, a little bit more traffic than we're used to seeing in the variety of the intersections in Agutnia. Over by Venue, we got some traffic over at the intersection where Padre Palomo Park is, Ganya Shopping Center, and more. Expect a little bit of traffic down at Big Navy in Sumai. Sure enough, there it is. It's 6:47. That's your right now traffic. This is The Point.
Celebrating the graduating class of 2022, Whopper Wednesday is back. Every Wednesday in June, visit participating Burger King restaurants and say, I love the Whopper. And you'll get a free flame grilled Whopper sandwich with the purchase of any Whopper combo meal. Top off your meal with French fries and onion rings and refreshing Coca-Cola. Tell your family and friends and enjoy your Whopper Wednesday in June. Available at BK Hagåtña, Tumon Bay, Micronesia Mall, and the airport. Congratulations to the class of 2022 from your friends at Burger King. Be your way.
Are you looking for job opportunities? That's perfect. Taiho is a company based in Korea that provides opportunities for people to work at production sites in the United States. They offer a wide variety of jobs that may suit you. Come and check it out. For more information, visit www.gotomainland.com or go to their office at the old iConnect building or call 671-648-9788. What are you waiting for? Go grab that opportunity and fly out to the mainland.
God, this makes me sick. I just want to curl.
What?
William John Shadowin sent me his power bill.
Oh, wow, Bill.
Murray City Corporation Utility Billing. Out of, where's this at? Utah?
$25.
That number's too low. But here it is. 437 kilowatt hours. That's all. That's all. 437 kilowatt hours. And for that, he is being charged $40.93.
Oh, he's walking around those night vision goggles, Ray.
Gotta be. All the lights are off.
Everything's off.
No air condionding. Not even just.
Not even the blinking light on the VCR.
The little pump for the aquarium. That's the only thing. It's the only thing on. Zzz, bubbles blowing. Battery operated. Just
crazy power bill.
What the heck is that all about? $443. I think. Then they add in what do they got? There's a couple of fees that they've got. The city energy tax for $2.46. I don't know what the math is on that, or maybe that's a flat amount. And then they have a sales tax that is in there for $1.88. So his power bill is a whopping $45.27.
I think we should have him investigated, Ray.
The last power bill was only $36.90. Are you feeling just a little bit sick to your stomach right now? And you're going, wait a second, where is this? It's Murray, Utah. Real Joe, while I'm yakking, look up Murray, Utah, and find out what it is that is so attractive besides $45 power bills in Murray, Utah. What do they got there? Do they have like a skating rink? Is there a Chuck E. Cheese? Do they have an IMAX theater? I mean, tell me they've got something there that we don't have here that will have Carl Gutierrez build on Ripao. What are you finding anything?
Yeah. It looks cold.
Okay, so that's the heating bill. It's not the air conditioning bill. It is the heating bill. Okay, thanks, Bill. 10 away from 6 o'clock in the morning. I'm supposed to sell a car now for my boys over at Nissan. Officially, the summer of 2022 has begun, and you can tell because they've dropped all the prices over at Nissan on all kinds of 2022s. You know, it's getting to the point in the year where I may have to start saying, well, you know, the 2023s are on the way, and we got to get rid of the 2022s. Well, it's summertime, and you need a new ride. How about this? 0 down payment on your new Nissan car or truck, huh? Titan, Frontier. 1.99% APR. Get it now before the interest rates go up because of the Fed and inflation again. And they'll talk to you about trades, even though, like I said, you don't need to come in with anything. Zero down. There's no obligation for you to have a car in trade. And they love doing deals over there at Nissan. So check them out today. Save your gas. Start first by visiting NissanGuam.com.
Real Talk Radio is back. The Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
Come on, honey. What are you hiding from your husband? Because he's no good at it. Yeah, just let me borrow those scissors. No, honey, those are my good scissors. No, baby, I use that for this. I use that for trimming. No, I use that for sewing. No, it's all right. And you're right. Comes back in. Sorry, honey, I blunted it. I thought I could cut my electrical wires with this. Just trying to go through a number 12. Know what I mean? What do you say, baby? 6:52 and change. Are we ready for the what headline here this morning? It's every day. I'm and it's a little concerning. Fortunately, I think maybe there are some people that are watching out for this kind of thing in the Pentagon, and hopefully they will come up with something very, very soon to make sure that we are the most protected and defensed-out base in the history of the United States of America. A story from Jeff Schogel. Why this tiny island in the Pacific may be ground zero in a war with China. And you go, wait, what? Wait. Ground zero in a war with...
What the heck?
Hey, if China's leaders thought a war with the United States was inevitable, they would be tempted to strike first. And then it gets into the story. This is alarming. In a war with China, the American territory of Guam would likely become the 21st century Pearl Harbor. Stacy Pettyjohn, a defense strategy and wargaming expert, said most of the war games involving a Chinese invasion of Taiwan that she has led have begun with the team playing China, attacking American bases on Guam and elsewhere in the Pacific, i.e. Tinian, to prevent the U.S. military from bringing significant combat power to the early stages of a fight. Quoting now, the opening big blow is in line with Chinese military doctrine, its counter-intervention strategy, in terms of seizing the offensive and also just trying to launch a knockout blow in the opening phases of a fight. Guam, which is more than 1,700 miles away from Taiwan, is home to Andersen Air Force Base, where B-52 bombers deploy on a rotational basis, as well as Naval Base, Guam Navy Base in Pearl Harbor, where several submarines are home port of. The island has been part of the United States since becoming a territory in 1898. China has 300 DF-26 intermediate-range ballistic missiles with an estimated range of 2,500 miles, well capable of striking Guam and U.S. Navy ships, according to the DOD. In 2020, their Air Force released a video. You remember this, the video?
I do.
And they released a video showing one of its nuke-capable H-6 bombers launching a simulated cruise missile strike against an airfield with the same layout as Andersen Air Force Base. And then they had that scene from The Rock. You remember that they used the scene from the thing spiraling down
get that
from The Rock. Kind of it nudged a little bit of the credibility for the rest of the video, but it still, I think, got some attention. Recognizing the threat posed by China, the U.S. military has started to strengthen its defenses on Guam, where the Defense Department has committed more than $11 billion in military construction over the next 5 years. The Missile Defense Agency also reported asking Congress for $539 million to protect the island from Chinese ballistic and cruise missiles, as well as the blossoming hypersonic weapons. So we got China with hypersonics. I understand that the North Koreans are they're starting to jiggle around with one of their missiles that they're trying to put into some kind of low Earth orbit or something like that. So these are going to be very, very interesting times. Like I said, a day doesn't go by that I don't see something like this in the news and in the Google alerts that I have for Guam. You might be going, well, Ray, do you have any good news today? I do. I have good news. Here's the good news, bro. I'm ready. Jin Air. This is how much in demand Guam is with South Korean tourists. Jin Air is going to start flying 777s.
Oh, that's the nice plane.
It's the nice. They got footrest, bro.
That's the good one, man.
Chargers right there in front of you. And
all the
you know,
tech on every chair, I believe.
yeah, it's
man.
like super. I'll be up to, but it's like a 3.5-hour trip. I mean, they could do this with 737s, right? Why bother going all the way up to the 777s? But they are 777-200ERs are going to be flown with Jin Air. I didn't know that they had those. I didn't. They figured budget carrier. Do they have anything that big? Apparently they do. So that's good news number one. Here, good news number two.
Number two. Hit me up, man.
Japan Airlines will be increasing services. They're looking at the numbers that they've got, and I believe that these are additional flights on top of the schedule that they had already said that they were going to be flying for Guam. So clearly, there's a lot of pent-up travel demand. We're close, as they said. Carl Gutierrez and Jerry Pears did outstanding work. And as I was chatting with former Governor Gutierrez this morning, just before the airplane took off, he gave me another piece of good news, and that is actually a couple of pieces of good news. United Airlines Fukuoka is going to start flying. United is going to start flying Fukuoka, Guam again 2 times a week. So there's blossoming and encouraging news coming out of the whole travel industry. Back to South Korea, there's another thing. Korea may lift antigen and other requirements, which will make it easier and cheaper for South Koreans to get to Guam. So there's obviously some really, really good news coming in on the tourism front, and I'm happy to be a part of GVB's marketing arm so that I can tell you all about them when they come. You got something else that you want to be talking about or something that you want me to riff on, by all means, 888-8255. Call it in or set it up on the Facebook Live. I think everybody's still at home now because I'm not getting what I'd asked for before. Come on, people, cooperate. Where is the price of gasoline right now? As I said, passed by the Shell gas station this morning, still $6.49.9 at that location. And I want to say it might be one of those where they actually have to send a guy outside to go and change the numbers. I think it's one of those, like, you know.
I hope he's not heartbroken.
Right.
And he puts a new quote there.
No, I don't have any threes. I'm sorry. So we can't take it anywhere down into the $6.30 range. I don't have any threes. Get out of here with that noise. So there's that. I don't know what it is at the Mobile stations. Don't know what it is over at 76 Circle K. If you've got it, then by all means let me know. Rico B chiming in saying gas at Mobile now $6.30, so off by about 20 cents. That's nice to see. Other folks hanging out with us this morning include Tammy Bumba, Jeanette Suzuki, Hafazook. Nice to see that name there. Let's see, Joey Chargaloff, Buenos and half a day to Kenneth Polino, Dave Lassard, Tommy Tenorio. The beautiful Trina San Augustine is there. Let me see, looking for other names like Linda Gabriel and Jess Mendiola, Sherry Iriarte.
Hey,
half a day to you. People can't afford gasoline prices. Just staying home. Right? Yeah, I'd love to just get in a car and drive around, Ray. $7.28 for a gallon of diesel. Don't freak out. Don't freak out. Diesel, $7. But I
love the smell of diesel.
I got word yesterday from, I think it was Sarita that posted something in one of the chats about how there is going to be a new price from the solid waste company that is going to get transferred to you. And we'll talk about that in the next hour of the program. Closing in on 7 o'clock in the morning. Is that where we are? Yeah, I think so. KUSG got United 3.3. This is The Point. Stand by for Fox News. Donna's got local news on the other side of that. Jerry Roberts and the Extra Point brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. Right now, here's the news.
No proof of fraud. I'm Rich Dennison, Fox News. Testifying before the House panel investigating the January 6th violence at the U.S. Capitol, Arizona's Republican House Speaker says Rudy Giuliani, on a call with former President Trump, claimed thousands of dead people and hundreds of thousands of undocumented immigrants voted in the last presidential election.
But when Rusty Bowers asked for proof, he says none was provided.
And I said, then you didn't bring me the evidence, which was repeated in different iterations for some period of time.
In several meetings with Giuliani, Bowers says he refused to go along with requests to hold legislative hearings on election fraud claims.
And I didn't want to be used as a pawn.
The committee also described threats made to other Republican lawmakers in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Georgia who supported election results in states won by President Biden.
Fox's Jared Halpern on Capitol Hill. Texas Department of Public Safety Director Colonel Steve McGraw today testified at a state Senate hearing that the door to a Uvalde elementary school classroom was not locked as officers with rifles stood and waited for nearly an hour in a school hallway for a key while the gunman carried out the May attack. that left 19 children and 2 teachers dead. A Kremlin spokesman says 2 Americans captured while fighting for Ukraine could face the death penalty.
Russian spokesman Dmitry Peskov told NBC News that the fates of the 2 Americans captured in a battle near Kharkiv, Ukraine earlier this month will be decided by a Russian court. He says they're not likely to be protected by Geneva Conventions for prisoners of war because they weren't part of Ukraine's regular army.
Fox's Tanya J. Powers. The State Department today confirming another American has been killed while fighting in support of Ukraine against Russian forces. Officials say Steven Zabilski died during a battle in southern Ukraine on May 15th. America's listening to Fox News.
JV International Safety Equipment has it all for you. Fall protection, rain gear, traffic signs, speed bumps, custom signs and banners, PPEs, fire extinguishers, plus more. Check them out on Facebook at JV International Safety Equipment Company or visit their website, www.jvisec.com. JV International Safety Equipment, Guam's leader in occupational and environmental safety equipment. Call 688-9524. JV International Safety Equipment, located in Harmon Industrial Park.
$15 might not get you that far, but Chili's is bucking the trend with $15 meal deals. At Chili's, $15 gives you not 1, not 2, but 3-course meal deals complete with a drink, a starter, and an entree. Mix and match 3-course meals 15 ways to Sunday with soup, salad, or chips and salsa to start, and ranchero chicken tacos, honey chipotle crispers with rice, bacon ranch quesadillas, or personal fajitas for the main course. Build your own $15 meal deal at Chili's. More life and great value happen here.
A rally on Wall Street today allowing stocks to recapture some previous losses. The Dow, S&P, and NASDAQ all ending the day with moderate gains. President Biden today urging parents to get their children vaccinated after federal health regulators approved COVID-19 vaccines for children younger than 5.
Elected officials shouldn't get in the way and make it more difficult for parents who want their children to be vaccinated, who want to protect them and those around them. This is no time for politics. It's about parents being able to do everything they can to keep their children safe.
Nearly 18 million kids are now eligible to get the shots, but less than a third of children between 5 and 11 have been vaccinated since they became available last November. Inflation continues affecting Americans.
The economy faces 40-year high inflation, including food and travel, and especially energy. AAA says the average cost of a gallon of gas is just shy of $5 a gallon, up from about $3 a year ago. The president says he's considering supporting a pause in the 18.4 cents a gallon federal gas tax, though there's opposition. Critics say it's too small to make much of a difference and would rob funding from infrastructure projects. Senate Minority Leader Mitch McConnell accused Democrats of playing political games with the gas tax ahead of November's midterm elections. And the presidential elections 2 years later, Republicans across the country are hammering Democrats on inflation.
Fox's Rich Edson. Scientists say the world's largest recorded freshwater fish, a giant stingray, has been caught in the Mekong River in Cambodia. The stingray, captured a week ago, measured almost 13 feet from snout to tail and weighed slightly under 660 pounds. A tagging device was implanted in the stingray before it was released back into the river to track its movements. I'm Rich Dennison, and this is Fox News.
Subway's Eat Fresh Refresh brings you the sequel to the Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki. Enjoy the new Sweet Onion Steak Teriyaki. Delight your taste buds with tender, juicy steak marinated in the tangy new Sweet Onion Teriyaki sauce and stacked high on toasted artisan Italian bread, topped with American cheese, green peppers, red onions, and drizzled with the tangy new Sweet Onion Teriyaki sauce. The new Sweet Onion Steak Teriyaki is the height of food craveability. Give in to your cravings at Subway. Eat fresh.
Everyone has a busy schedule these days, and sometimes we forget to schedule our routine dental checkup and cleaning. Don't neglect your dental health. Schedule one today with Dr. Robert Yang and his Smile team, conveniently located at the East West Business Center on Marine Drive, Upper Tumon. Call us today at 647-8702 or 3. Again, that's 647-8702 or 647-8703. We make smiles happen.
Check out the newest hydro and garden center to hit Guam, Crop King Hydro. We have a huge selection of plant nutrients, soils, hydroponic mediums, organic pest control pumps, plant support, tools, and so much more. Call 635-4769. 635-GROW. Open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6 at the Dededo Satina Mall, right across from Payless and Paradise Fitness. For whatever you grow, think Crop King Hydro. Crop King Hydro.
Half a day at 7:06. I'm Donna DeJesus. Here's a look at your local news on The Point. A judge still has to make a decision on two motions before a former DOC deputy director can go to trial. Joey Akfaji Terlahi, who is also a Superior Court Marshal, was indicted in December in connection with an incident at former Zotnya Mayor Jesse Blaza's ranch in 2017. Terlahi is accused of assisting Blaz in holding his then-girlfriend against her will for 3 days and not using his position as a court marshal at the time to prevent it. Terlahi filed a motion to have the charges of felonious restraint and official misconduct dropped on the grounds there was not enough evidence. The second motion involves a prosecution request made to exclude GPD reports from evidence. Presiding Judge Alberto Tolentino says he is still in the process of deciding on two motions before trial can begin. And the governor's administration has announced the launch of the Mobile Crisis Response Team pilot program. The team is made up of behavioral health specialists who will work with fire and police personnel to help coordinate and de-escalate mental health crisis calls involving suicidal thoughts, depression, homelessness, and substance abuse. The MCRT pilot will launch in phases, with the first phase having begun on June 6th. The program operates from Monday to Friday from 10 a.m. to 2 a.m. and Saturday and Sunday from noon to 10 p.m. The second phase will begin on September 6th and will open services to non-clients who are 18 years old and above. Behavioral Health's goal is to build its workforce to support launching its full scope of services by the end of the year, which will include additional teams focusing on children and expanding hours to support round-the-clock operations. Anyone experiencing thoughts of suicide, substance abuse issues, or other behavioral health crises can contact the Behavioral Health Hotline at 671-647-8833. And GDOE students will be receiving $157 of Pandemic Electronic Benefit Transfer, or PEBT, which will be based on students' COVID-19 related absences. Acting State Director of GDOE's Child Nutrition Program, Frank Cruz, says he recorded 19 days of school closures related to COVID-19 for all enrolled students. Each child's benefit will be calculated at $8.28 for breakfast, lunch, and snack. The $157 is based on that amount multiplied by the 19 days of school closures. Cruz adds that the amount would be increased based on absentee records that show students were out due to COVID. This is possibly the last round of PEBT assistance that students will see. Cruz says more information should be available toward the end of summer. We'll have more news after this.
Celebrating the graduating class of 2022, Whopper Wednesday is back. Every Wednesday in June, visit participating Burger King restaurants and say, I love the Whopper. And you'll get a free flame grilled Whopper sandwich with the purchase of any Whopper combo meal. Top off your meal with french fries and onion rings and refreshing Coca-Cola. Tell your family and friends and enjoy your Whopper Wednesday in June. Available at BK Hagatnya, Tumon Bay, Micronesia Mall, and the airport. Congratulations to the class of 2022 from your friends at Burger King. Be your way.
The Boy Scouts of America is not contributing $55 million to a Guam Clergy Sex Abuse Trust Fund. Without this contribution, Guam clergy abuse survivors could be looking at a settlement of between $37 million and $52 million instead of up to $107 million under a current proposal. Most of the clergy sex abuse claims in the Archdiocese bankruptcy case involved Father Louis Brouillard, who also served as a scoutmaster for much of his stay in Guam from 1948 until his return to Minnesota in 1981. Brouillard admitted to sexually abusing minors during his years in Guam before his death in 2018. The Boy Scouts had a pending bankruptcy case in Delaware, also because of sexual abuse claims involving scoutmasters and others associated with scouting activities. The Archdiocese of Agana has yet to settle abuse claims, but the Boy Scouts has already settled with a number of Guam abuse claimants. The settlement amounts have not been disclosed. Meanwhile, the judiciary of Guam is requesting about $37 million for the next fiscal year, including about $653,000 for the electronic monitoring program and about $1.6 million to fund pay adjustments in law enforcement and non-law enforcement pay scales. Supreme Court of Guam Chief Justice Philip Carbolito says there is a risk that the electronic monitoring program at the judiciary will not continue without a requested appropriation from the legislature. The electronic monitoring program, which is being used for pretrial defendants, provides several community benefits, including $2.3 million in savings for the Department of Corrections. The legislature appropriated $500,000 to start up the program in 2019. The judiciary maintained the program by capping the number of participants and absorbing some operational costs. And those were your top stories. Back to Ray.
Sorry, I'm laughing because because I mentioned that in most households, one spouse is hiding something from the other, and Brad Wood is asking a question at Lucia Fleming Wood, who is his wife.
Wow. Where's the remote control?
What are you hiding from me? I'm dying to know what the answer there is. 7:12 in the morning. Let me give you some weather here. Scattered showers and thunderstorms afternoon. There's partly sunny skies though in the forecast with highs near 86 degrees. Easterly winds 7 to 11 miles an hour. I was taking a look at the weather map a few minutes ago to see if there was anything out there that we needed to worry about. I'm just looking at cloud cover. I'm just looking at opportunities for there to be a little bit more by way of cloud cover moving in because frankly it was nice at the house. There were a lot of clouds over the place and it started raining a lot and the house all of a sudden felt magically cool. It felt like I don't need to run the air conditioner now. It was nice, and I'm hoping for another nice day like that. Scattered showers and thunderstorms, mostly cloudy, with lows around 77 degrees tonight. With a heat index, the temps today will feel like 90 degrees. Same thing for tomorrow. Scattered showers, maybe some thunderstorms in the forecast. Partly sunny skies. Highs near 85 degrees tomorrow night. Mostly cloudy. Overnight lows 77 degrees. Sounds like typical summertime Guam weather for us. Heat index today, like I said, about 90 degrees. Sunrise early this morning at 5:55, and sunset tonight is going to be at 6:50. Hashtag tell the others. It might be soggy, but it's still the Guam sunrise and you don't turn your back on it. News and weather together here on The Point.
Is your business ready for digital transformation? The latest Wi-Fi technology is here, and it's Docomo Pacific's WorkPass, powered by Plume. WorkPass unlocks connectivity, productivity, and security tools all in the palm of your hand. Access features like adaptive Wi-Fi, guest and employee networks, evolving AI security, plus so much more. To learn more about WorkPass, visit business.docomopacific.com. Docomo Pacific Business. Work better together.
Attention! Lolita Kamet is now with Hoffaday Realty. She'll always be that hardworking and passionate real estate professional who is committed to helping you make a difference in your life and helping you achieve the American dream of home ownership. She also specializes in commercial leasing, land sales, local residential sales leasing, military and corporate relocation. So for all your real estate needs, call Lolita Kamet now with Hoffaday Realty at 688-6743. That's 688-6743.
7:14 portions of the program brought to you by APL American President Lines, a global presence with a local home. Also want to do shouts. Okay, I'm going to do shouts later.
Okay, go ahead, man.
Well, I was going to do shout to Deborah and the entire staff at CPK in Agania. They're open for breakfast, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. In fact, Guam, one of the first CPKs in the entire planet to be offering a full breakfast menu and nods now to some local favorites. You know, they got that taro pancakes that they've got there with the makapuno and the ube kind of. It's ube butter. It's the only way that I can describe it. And you slather this stuff all over the place and all kinds of other stuff. Healthy start. Focus on the menu development. They've got Sonoma egg white omelets, smoked salmon toast, protein breakfast bowls. There's corn, poblano breakfast tacos and yogurt parfaits and acai bowls. So if you're eating clean, this is a great place to go and get that eaten clean breakfast. Now, you might be wondering, well, what am I going to drink? I'll tell you what. There's a variety of freshly squeezed juices and premium mimosas. Come on. It's a mimosa for breakfast. There's nothing wrong with it. You get that feeling like you just stepped into first class, right? Would you like a mimosa? Well, as a matter of fact, I would like a mimosa. And they can fix one right up for you over at CPK as you enjoy them for breakfast today.
News to fill your mind. Talk to get it out.
Fully the system.
The Ray Gibson Show. Call now, 888-8255.
Fully the system. Flip it over, cause. That's one of the slogans there that B.J. Penn, Republican governor, hopeful in the state of Hawaii. And there are political analysts there that say, you know what, he could actually pull this thing off because, you know, it's a Democratic town, right? And there aren't a whole lot of people that are thrilled with what's going on in Hawaii. I tell you every Tuesday when I get the Hawaii Free Press, all of the things that the people, regular plain old citizens, have to go through. There is very rampant and obvious in-your-face corruption in Hawaii. You don't have to scratch the surface too deep to be able to see that. Highest tax rate, personal tax rate in the nation, among the highest real estate rates and things like that. Cost of living in Hawaii is through the roof, and out migration. People moving out of places like Hawaii looking to go and live someplace else. They're concerned that all they're going to be left with is rich but corrupt politicians and a bunch of poor people running around. So B.J. Penn kind of wants to step in there before it's too late. 7:17 in the morning, and if we're very, very lucky today, no pressure, Real Joe, no pressure. But I really want to do an interview with B.J. Penn sometime soon.
Been trying hard, man.
Maybe he's got a lieutenant governor.
Trying.
Well, you know, he is famous for being an MMA fighter,
yeah.
right? So you
probably gets 1,000.
Yeah, some guy on Guam that nobody's ever heard of.
Yeah.
Even though he's a household name here. B.J. Penn going, oh, what a bugger. Why that guy want to talk to me? You know, I'm busy trying to run for governor, trying to bully the system around here. 7:17, maybe if we get lucky. I was looking at some stuff yesterday. One of the clients wanted to get kind of an idea of who we talk to on a regular basis in the morning show. So I spent a little bit of time on in particular Facebook, looking at some of the data they got there, and I thought this might be interesting to the people like you that are listening to the broadcast. Going, okay, well, who else is into this? So there's a little bit on the demographics that we reached, and this is kind of unusual for a talk radio station. There are just as many, maybe more, women that listen to this broadcast than there are men. Buddy, we're hot with the chicks, man.
Good morning.
Good morning.
That's pretty scary, isn't it? There's actually women out there that listen to this.
Exactly. And among a particular age group between 45 and 54, there are more women that listen to this broadcast in the age group than there are men that listen in this age. Now, this is just the numbers from Facebook. There is a different set of numbers that I got on the YouTube side that's a little bit closer to what the norm looks like. It's also possible just more women on Facebook taking advantage of it. But as you can see in the spread here, we peak about 45 to 54. But we've got some good adjacent demographics over 55 and under 40. 45 to 54 and under 44. Listeners, also significant numbers in that age group. It's a little bit not bad at all, right?
It is cool.
Yeah.
I saw the other slide, though.
What's the other slide?
It was 17% moderate, okay, 22% conservative, okay, and 61% total whack jobs.
Yeah.
So,
well, we don't refer to many of our listeners as whack jobs, although there are a number of them that self-identify as whack jobs for sure. But
just kidding.
If you're wondering, I don't know what
if you're
what
a
the
whack
other
job. I'm sorry, I wasn't being personal.
That's all right. I don't know what the other radio stations' profiles look like, but I was very, very interested to see that. Happy to see that after all of these years, still I'm number one with the ladies. That's sweet. Jerry's looking at me like, what are you going on about now? All right, fine.
I mentioned whack jobs, right?
As the ladies that are hiding scissors from their husbands. All right, it's time to take a look at what happened on the markets. Let's get to this because it's all green, as a matter of fact. American markets have bounced. We're not really sure what this. There's a phrase that an economist is using here this morning, which is fear-based capitulation sell-off, and I think I want to dig deeper into that in just a second. But here we are, S&P 500 up by almost 90 points, 37.64. NASDAQ 270 points in the green, and the by percentage biggest winner today, 11,069. They're up, like I said, 270 points or 2.51%. Dow Jones Industrial Average picked up 2 and about 15 in percents. 30,530 is where they closed this morning. 641 points from where they were there Friday or Saturday last week. The FTSE is up by 30. Nikkei pushing almost 500 points. 26,246. 26. They're green. Hang Seng, almost 400 points, 21,559. Shanghai index down by about 10. VIX is off by about 1, and the DAX picked up 26 points here in trade. Like I said, big winner percentage-wise is the NASDAQ. Who's up there? Tesla's up. Why? Because there's pictures on the internet floating around of Elon Musk holding a phone, a Tesla phone.
Oh, yeah. Did you see that?
Tell me,
I sent that to you.
I still haven't looked at the video. I was busy, checking up on preparing for an interview that Real Joe's going to get me with BJ Penn. So I was busy preparing for
governor?
that. BJ Penn, the MMA
Hawaii?
fighter, he's actually leading the polls going into the primary. I mean, now it's tricky because there's a whole hell of a lot of undecideds on both the Democrat and Republican
So
side.
Iggy's on which he's Democrat,
Yeah,
obviously. And Penn is?
Penn is a Republican, but he's a big tent Republican. He said, "Look, I don't care. This is a people-based campaign. I don't know that he's got a lot of love for the Republicans or the Democrats or what we consider the traditional leading parties." He said, "Look, I don't care if you're a Republican or Democrat, whether you're independent, whether you're agnostic when it comes to politics. Haven't picked a side, libertarian. I don't care."
Isn't Hawaii 101% Democrat?
Oh my God! Yeah,
like
yeah. But I mean, you got to all the things that I was talking about just before you came in. I mean, you got highest tax rates on the planet. Cost of living up there 45% higher than most every other place in the United States of America,
except for
and rampant corruption.
Yeah.
And so the guy comes in and says, "Look, this isn't working for us." I guess the tipping point was when his father, who I think passed, was in a hospital on Oahu, and he was in Hilo, which is in the Big Island, and he needed to get out to where his old man was to take care of him in his final days, and they wouldn't let him on an airplane because he wasn't vaccinated. And from there, he says, "Wait a second, you work for me, not the other way around." And we've got to get in there and change the system.
Well,
absolutely inspiring.
Yeah. And politicians everywhere have got to get that message, and a whole bunch of them are going to get that message in November anyway. But
I'm hoping that they get it in August, when we do the primary.
We got to get that message out here to the politicians. We don't work for them; they work for us. Period. And that message, Democrats out here can't be happy with what they've seen out of their legislature in the past 4 years. They need to make some changes and all that. So, I mean, our whole island needs to finally stand up and send a message to whoever it is, both sides, Republicans and Democrats alike, that here's the pecking order. We elect you, you work for us.
Ask yourself the question. I do this every single day. I'm going to make this just like Bob Klitsky does the Second Amendment in the beginning of the show. Ask yourself, are you better off today than you were 2 years ago? Are you better off today than you were 4 years ago? And if you cannot say yes, and there's maybe about 11,000, 12,000 people that can say yes because they work in the government and they didn't miss a payday and they gotten pay raises all over the place. So maybe things are better for them. But what about everybody else? If you cannot answer, meth dealers might be doing better because the price of meth keeps going down around here. It's the only price that seems to be going down.
Yeah.
If you cannot say yes to that question, to either one of those questions, then you've got to make a change. And if you're a politician and people are saying, I'm not any better off than I was 2 years ago, 4 years ago, we're I think about ready to change you. You look at all the people that have been running things for the last 2 years, 4 years around here. They're the ones that are supposed to be making things better for everybody. Yeah. And so what? They wave their hands over the liquid fuels tax. So off by what, 20 cents a gallon?
What does that mean?
Yeah, 19. Yeah, 19 cents a gallon.
What a relief.
What? Yeah. But only for, 180 days? We're not going to be doing this for a long time? I don't know. There's all kinds of other things that we have been asking for and not getting delivered. In the meantime, we've got one person that is presiding over $300 million worth of American Rescue Plan money, waiting out their priorities as opposed to our priorities.
You mentioned their priorities. The line that came out the other day that kind of worried me. I think it was in the governor's response to, who was it? Was it Frank that sent the letter up? And he had said, he had asked for...
Frank Blas Jr.,
yeah. He had to put the money... And he said, no, all that money's already been allocated.
Yeah.
Well, who decided? I mean, did anybody get a voice in that?
The legislature didn't.
So, I mean,
the other representatives of the people did not.
Who was it? I mean, even if you have the legal authority, apparently, to make that decision... Don't you? I mean, this is a one-time deal. We're not going to get all this money again like this.
Ever.
Okay, ever. So isn't it being a one-time deal? Isn't this kind of maybe where you gather everybody together and say, "Well, what do you think?"
The Comitea. And figure out what we're going to be doing. Could we take $50 million, give that over to John Benavente, and use that to pay down the LEAC so regular consumers, including the government, is not included in that? Just 726. Just a couple other things I wanted to get to before we're all done. Keep your fingers crossed that we get past this veil of tears in Japan faster. Their yen now is only good for, what have I got here, 0.73 versus the U.S. dollar. That is 136 yen to the dollar, and that's not good for them coming in this direction. No matter how hard Jerry Perez and Carl Gutierrez work on this. 726, a Bitcoin number, real quick.
20,800, Ray.
There are people now that are suggesting that this is going to start affecting real people who have made some real investments into Bitcoin and are now upside down on many of those. They're saying it needs to be regulation.
It was 17.6 over the weekend. You realize that when it broke through. It's going to go back down again. What I'm catching right now is people say this is the resistance hit. It went back up about 20%.
I remember you mentioning that.
It's kind of just the calm before the storm.
So that's what they're asking about when it comes to what happened in the market today. Is this a bounce, or have we reached the bottom on this? And they say one of the things that they're going to look for is fear-based capitulation sell-off, and that is everybody jumping out of the market. I mean, go find them. I'll put it in treasuries.
Trying to pick bottom of the market is just a fool's errand.
Well, but people are watching their the devaluation of their investments and retirement funds and things like that that are indexed to all the different markets. So you might want to every once in a while you got to take a look at what you've got there and massage your holdings if you can. 727.
Before you get to one thing, you had the slide up here about your audience. Okay?
Yeah,
and I jumped in there and made some interesting remarks.
That's all right.
Let me tell you who you really have. Okay. That did not show you. Okay. I travel around and I talk to people who are the CEOs and the general managers and people like that. That's where one of your strengths are.
We got big shots listening to the audience in the audience. Big shots.
I have talked to people, a number of them. Okay, where they catch me. Okay, and they talk about where they listened to this program. Okay, and I gauge between the newspaper and between. Here, because this is the only two places I am. On the Point and
only
the Post.
Only a couple of platforms.
Okay, so a lot of people catch this program here. Okay, and they talk about, because I'm doing different things. So they talk about an extra point. I know when they're talking about that, it's here. When they're talking about something in a Post, it's something else. So a lot of people that are in that decision-making position are listening to this program.
Well, here's the thing, and I'm comfortable saying this. All you big shot CEO guys, you need to be buying me drinks when you see me. When we get ribbon cuttings, groundbreakings, whatever it is, we get together. I'm just, I'm a Michelob Ultra away from being your best friend and talking about your shop. 7:29 in the morning. We've talked too long about other stuff to do the extra point right now. So as usual, we're going to jump into some news and headlines. We got Donna D with all of that being brought to you by Auntie Lolita Cammett from over at Hoffaday Realty. You have got real estate dreams. Maybe now is the time as people are starting to think about maybe I ought to get out of some of these assets and selling off some property. You might be the lucky beneficiary. Maybe you can buy at the bottom as well. She knows where all of those great deals are. She can make that dream come true for you. Also, great deals over at Burger King. Rudy Rodolfo and the guys are circus crazy right now. I got the Super American Circus in town, and they've got free tickets for your kids. How do you get them? I don't know. You have to go to the drive-thru at BK and find out. Now, with news and headlines at 7:30, here's Donna De Jesus. Donna, what happened?
A drunk driver who live-streamed his joyride to prison pleaded not guilty yesterday. 32-year-old Ciro Sanaman Retanong went live on social media while he was drinking beer and driving before he crashed into another car in Dedido last month. A man and his wife who were inside the other car were hospitalized. Pilar Lujan, a former educator and senator, was laid to rest yesterday and honored with a state memorial service. Lujan is credited for introducing landmark legislation during her time as a senator, including laws that establish the Supreme Court of Guam and a Bill of Rights for crime victims. GPD is asking for a budget increase of more than $14 million next fiscal year to keep up with hiring and the recent pay raises enacted through the executive order. The department plans to spend $2.2 million to recruit an extra 40 officers and another $2.6 million on a long-delayed round of promotions. And AG Levin Camacho will be hosting a cannabis industry roundtable. Industry experts and officials from other U.S. jurisdictions will be brought in to discuss status changes to federal laws with local officials from the Department of Agriculture, Public Health, the Cannabis Control Board, and other stakeholders. The roundtable discussion is being planned for July 8. And those are your local headlines.
Is there samples? What's the point of having it? Joe, are you with me here?
I'm Maybe with just you, man. For them.
I'm your +1 everywhere.
Because it's for officials.
I'm just, well, you know, you can be an official. What's the point of these guys getting together to talk about cannabis, recreational cannabis here on Guam? Especially if most of them, there's probably a couple of guys in this committee I just would refer to if we were in high school as virgins. So I'm wondering if they've, they're going to get together and talk about marijuana, but never having tried it or inhaled, as Bill Clinton said.
I don't know. Maybe during this roundtable, they'll be discussing the different types of strains and their benefits.
Exactly, but you won't know them unless you try, is my point. All right, 7:31 in the morning. Jerry Roberts looking at the Extra Point. Brought to you. Did you get the pictures that I sent? It's a real circus.
They don't expand.
They don't expand.
No, the pictures don't expand.
That's because it's a Tesla phone. You need an iPhone, Samsung.
Elon, it doesn't work. No, so this is a real circus?
Yeah.
Like with animals?
Don't know what animals
like
are a
with
little bit tricky
senators.
because like the senators. No, it's tricky obviously to do real animals because you got to deal with the Department of Agriculture. Tom Poole has to come out and bless something.
It's one of those trapeze type things.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Okay,
Motorcycles, death-defying.
gotcha.
Yeah, there'll be clowns, just like the legislature.
UOG?
Yeah, I don't know where they're doing it. All the information I have is in those two pictures that you can't open. 7:32 in the morning, and before we get to the Extra Point, as I said, it's kind of a long day for me because Carl T.C. Gutierrez is off island. Him and Auntie Jerry on a plane right now on the way to Manila, which is a city in the Philippines. Maybe you've heard of it. They were aboard Philippine Airlines, and this is how important former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez is. As you can see in the picture, there's a shot of the pilot of the airplane talking to former Governor Gutierrez, asking him if it's okay to take off now.
Oh, wow.
That's
Not the chicken or the fish?
I'd love to be able to get some advice on how to fly an airplane, run an airline. So, Carl, if you could talk me through this. The pilot actually talking to former Governor Gutierrez through the video system at the airplane. Carl is that good. He's that good. He's the man. 7:33 in the morning.
That's like better than first class.
That's better. Well, you got that's what do you mean? What is that? Is it?
Oh, that's a hot towel.
There's a pillow. It's a pillow. Now, eventually what's going to happen, even though it's only a short flight between here and there, is the Gov will be able to press a button and the bed, I believe on this plane, will assume a lie flat position. And where the pillow is right now is where his feet are going to get tucked into for the extra space.
Well deserved.
Absolutely. Auntie Jerry's got one on the other side, and there's looks like a glass of water or vodka. I don't know.
No. Are they open yet?
Maybe gin.
Is Philippines open to people who have not been jabbed 35 times yet?
No.
Still closed.
Still need a vaccine. I don't think you need a booster, but you definitely need a vaccine to get there. But they tell me that things are kind of opening up, but slowly. There's still a whole lot of restrictions on mask wearing and gathering. Although I think the gathering thing is done. A friend of mine, Arlene, went out there to run in one of these fiesta of foot races. She ran in a 5K out there, and it was about 50-50. The pictures that I saw, people wearing masks, not masks, but there were enough of them gathered around in front of the stage to give me the sense that there aren't that many outdoor restrictions on gatherings as there used to be.
I was
it might be in zones too, because they did that kind of thing where they'd say this part of Manila is in lockdown and this part of Manila is open and this part of Manila is only groceries and medicine.
Okay, I was talking to somebody yesterday in a training I was doing, and they had come back from I forget where it was, someplace in Europe, I think, and they said this like nothing. I mean, no, they don't even talk about COVID anymore over there. No masks, no nothing. All restrictions are down. Israel, which was the most protected place in the world on all this stuff, they've totally gotten rid of everything.
Is it?
I mean, the other folks in other places have kind of moved on from it. And we've still got this one-day thing to get back into the country, which is a mess. And the Asian countries out here are still have the restrictions.
Korea is Governor Guterres says Korea is going to be lifting soon their antigen requirements and making it that much cheaper and easier for people to go back to their countries.
Yeah.
We're hoping the Japanese will do the same thing soon, and Taiwan. It says once that happens in the source markets, then we ought to see things turn around. Other good news that I mentioned a little bit earlier is that we've got a lot of action on the airline side. Jin Air is going to start flying 777s out to Guam here.
Nice.
I mean, like now, today, we might see their airlines flying in on much bigger, more spacious and comfortable planes, or they're just going to pack them in. I mean, the demand is that good that they're upgrading their lift. Then that's good. Japan Airlines is going to be increasing the services. They're going to start flying Fukuoka to Guam a couple of times a week.
Okay.
United Airlines likewise going to be doing some of the same. Wait. Japan Airlines is increasing the number of flights, period, coming out to Guam. It's United Airlines that is going to be increasing, starting Fukuoka to Guam direct flights.
Okay.
So good news on those fronts. That indicates there's demand. And even as hard as it is to get back into the country, there's a lot of people saying, at least I can leave now.
Yeah.
On the other hand, if you and I want to go to Japan, we got to go to the consulate and get a visa. Remember back in the old days, there was...
But can't we get in? Unvaxxed?
No, not unvaxxed. You got to be vaxxed and boosted, and you got to get a visa in order for, if you're a gaijin like us to get back into the country.
Call the Prime Minister. Prime Minister Fujikawa will let you in.
Japan, that's why. Yeah, I'm going with the tattoo lady. It's 7:37. Jerry, you still want to do the extra point?
Why not?
All right, this one here being brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. Go ahead.
One problem that a lot of managers have is getting optimal participation in meetings. Too few people take part, or maybe it's the same people every time. If you think that describes what's happening at your place, then we'll dig in and figure out some possible reasons to that next on the Extra Point.
Fly to new experiences with 3 times United miles with First Hawaiian Bank's United credit card. Earn 3 times per dollar spent on United tickets purchased through United ticketing channels until February 28th, 2023, and 2 times miles thereafter. Visit any First Hawaiian Bank branch or go to fhb.com/United for more information. Don't wait. Apply today. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
I've been a part of numerous organizations and worked for a slew of managers, each with a different way of dealing with meetings. Some wanted everybody there. Others have kept participation to only those who really needed to be present. Some kept complete control over every meeting, while others shared that. Some had strict agendas, and some had no agenda at all. I've seen all kinds of styles and approaches, successes and failures, and meetings that people love to attend, as well as those they did everything they could to avoid. I've even written a 4-hour training course on how to get the most out of meetings. So when somebody asked me why they were having trouble getting attendees to take part, I had some ideas based upon the experiences I've had. Reason number 1, fear. It's the same reason that kids don't want to raise their hand in school to ask questions. They dread the idea of being wrong, and worse, that they'll be ridiculed for what they say. Just like kids in class, coworkers can also be cruel and make you feel dumb. I've seen it in too many of the meetings I've attended, and you probably have too. It only has to happen once for someone to decide they're just going to keep their mouth shut unless they are forced to answer. If you've got someone on your team who gets their kicks by trolling the comments of others, get with that person and shut it down. There's no need to make a scene. You can just set a rule to hold all comments until the end, or that you're only seeking comments to expand on what others contribute, and that should handle it. Reason 2, the situation is unclear. The people who attend should have a solid understanding of the subject matter. Without that, how can you expect them to jump into the conversation? Ahead of the meeting, be sure that attendees have a clear picture of the issue, especially how it relates to their job or department. Now, ahead of it, you can email the agenda along with all background details and supporting documents that will aid their knowledge. You can also add a note such as, please be prepared to talk about this matter as it relates to your operation. If you're unsure, see me. This alerts them that they'll be expected to contribute, and it gives them an opportunity to ask questions ahead of the meeting. Now, I've got more to share on this topic, and we'll do that tomorrow, but I want to add one more thing for today. It's another common issue that we see in meetings, and it relates to that fear that I mentioned. This will require some awareness on your part. If you have a participant who gets incredibly nervous at the thought of talking in a meeting, well, don't let them sweat it out, for minutes on end before they have to talk and get their stomach all tied up in knots as they wait for you to call on them. When you introduce the topic that you've asked them to be a part of, call on them first, or at least as early as possible. That'll help them to overcome their nervousness, and you may find that they'll be okay to stay in the conversation. More tomorrow on how to encourage greater participation in your meetings. That's the Extra Point. Be responsible and make something good happen today. For 93.3, The Ray Gibson Show and First Hawaiian Bank. I'm Jerry Roberts.
I was reading something about this the hybrid way that people are working these days, and some people are in the office, some people are still working by remote control, zooming into their meetings and things like that. And there is a conversation about maybe a change in etiquette when it comes to disciplining employees. I mean, even if they're working hybrid, there might still be times where you might have to discipline an employee, maybe even terminate them. When does it become appropriate to discipline an employee by Zoom?
We had a
terminate
story
by Zoom.
Remember the story of the guy that fired 500 people or something like that?
By Zoom.
And by Zoom? One after the other. He just let them go. And
apparently that was one of those things. It just maybe started a wave of people saying, well, I guess we don't need to come into the office if we're going to be doing this. You still have to be disciplined. You still got to be able to manage the hard way your employees. Should that be done by Zoom?
Well, that's all you have. I mean, if they're 500 miles away and have no intent to come in, I mean, you're not going to have much of a choice. Right?
Yeah, kind of. When is it appropriate to break up with somebody by WhatsApp or by Instagram? How do you know you broke up? Because she posted a picture of her with another guy on Instagram. That's pretty much how I found out. 7:42 in the morning. There's the Extra Point with Jerry Roberts, brought to you by First Hawaiian Bank. We'll get a quick look at what's going on in traffic in just a second. And I got this from the other governor, Leon Guerrero, and meme master here. What he is looking forward to today. The state of our island is great. Any objections from in front of the Red Queen here today? 6:30 tonight over at the legislature, and I've got a couple of ideas for the drinking game that's ahead. Here.
Hafa Patsy Gogri from Security Title here with information about what a title company does. The title side of our business determines who owns a property and guarantees your ownership with a title insurance policy. The escrow side acts as an independent third party, managing the transfer of money and documents between the buyer, seller, lenders, and others. Security Title has a management of real estate closings down to a science. Give us a call. We are here to help.
Choosing health insurance for my family is difficult. I need to know our health insurance will protect us now and in the future. Take Care members have access to the island's largest offering of free fitness classes and health education programs, and a high-quality credentialed network of on- and off-island healthcare providers, including the convenient one-stop FHP Health Center and urgent care. My family choose Take Care. Your family should also consider choosing Take Care. Call 671-647-3526 for more information. Take Care. Our island, your health plan.
Yeah, me and Donna talking about when they release, when we can all fly as a Gaijin can go back to Japan and maybe, if we're lucky, grab one of those Haneda spots. And so you are literally, you land in the city. There's no 90-minute ride or 45-minute train ride from Narita City. Not saying anything bad about Narita. It's just, I want to be able to get off the airplane, as I say, throw my suitcases in the hotel, and then start hitting the spots. And there's a lot of places where you can go play in Tokyo or Shibuya and Shinjuku or whatever. But my favorite first stop in Tokyo is the Shakey's. There's a Shakey's there, I want to say, just past the big train station, central in Shinjuku.
Mojo's.
Yeah, Mojo Potatoes, bro. And another reason why I want to go back to the Philippines is because I know where the nearest Shakey's is to the St. Luke's. It's like right across the same.
Across the street from the Mercury Drug.
Yeah. And the Starbucks. 7:45 in the morning in the Ray Gibson Show. All right, you wanted some traffic. I heard the music. Now let me see if I can scare some up here. We'll start southbound and see if there's anything happening down at Big Navy. A little bit of traffic there. Not meeting up with a whole lot from Route 2, but expect some southbound delays. I don't know. Somebody yesterday said they were doing searches in the thing. But I don't know whether they were searching people coming in or searching people leaving. Did you take that fork from the commissary? You took that fork. Says U.S. Navy property. Get out of here with that. Now, a little bit of traffic up in Haggadah Heights for some reason. Don't know. Also looking at inbound traffic around the downtown Haggadah area, Route 4, and the intersection of 8 and 1. So expect maybe some minor delays there. Basically, intersection traffic everywhere. What is going on up in Attica? I got to put this up on the screen so you might be able to see this. It looks like I've got traffic in both directions over at the intersection. Around Machache. Now, that usually gives me an indication when it's slow like that in both directions. That's what an accident looks like in terms of these map gizmos that we have. So expect some delays if you're coming in from there trying to get to the KFC and Marine Corps Drive through there. And anything else that I need to tell you about? Everything looks about right. There it is. It's 746 traffic on 93.3. This is The Point.
Are you looking for job opportunities? That's perfect. Taiho is a company based in Korea that provides opportunities for people to work at production sites in the United States. They offer a wide variety of jobs that may suit you. Come and check it out. For more information, visit www.gotomainland.com or go to their office at the old iConnect building or call 671-648-9788. What are you waiting for? Go grab that opportunity and fly out to the mainland.
Howdy, folks. It's KFC's Colonel Sanders, and I'm bringing you a delicious KFC chicken flavor just in time for summer. Introducing my new KFC Grilled Teriyaki Chicken. It's our great KFC grilled chicken made with an authentic sweet and tangy Japanese teriyaki sauce that the whole family will fall in love with. Pick up a bucket at your favorite KFC location and bring home the teriyaki love today. KFC's new Grilled Teriyaki Chicken is available for a limited time at your favorite KFC location. KFC, it's finger licking good.
747, Jerry Roberts oohing and eyeing over the traffic gizmo that we've got around here going, where did you pick up this? What kind of great, incredible service is this? These are basically, I'm showing Jerry what this is here, and these areas here where there is red, that means that there's a whole bunch of phones moving slowly, phones with their location data that is turned on, and they're talking back to cell sites and they're talking back to servers, and so we can tell you with fairly decent accuracy that there's a problem over by Las Palmas Phase 2 because we can see all the cars congested in both directions. Now, it might be an accident, might just be the light might be out or something like that, or maybe it's raining up there. I don't know why. I can't see that. Now, there are other programs that you can get. You can do something similar with the Apple Maps. And then there's a program called Waze, which is also owned by Google, which is it's a pretty.
I didn't know they own Waze.
Yeah, I believe so. Yeah, they might still own Waze. And I've been trying to work with the Waze people because it's interactive, so that if you are driving someplace and you see an accident, you can actually type in, "Hey, this is Real Joe, and I see an accident here," and a bunch of other people will do the same thing. So you've got there's a social circular thing going on.
I was in California in December and January.
Waze is the way.
We're all over Waze.
Yeah. Because it will show you where the congestion is and why. And I want to say that you can upload pictures to that now. So I've been working with the Waze people for a couple of years. I had to slow down because of COVID-19, but something that is still worth talking about. And if you're not using this and curse because you constantly get stuck in traffic by surprise, that's why. There's a way that you can use this before you get in the car. Take a look at your Google Maps and your Apple Maps, and I'll show you the same thing. So you'll know on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock not to try to go northbound on Marine Corps Drive, or where the next available, just way out of that is. Yeah. Cool technology. 749, and it goes along with the same kind of thing that I was showing the graphics of who the listeners of the radio station are on Facebook.
You pulled that down for free too.
Yeah, I mean, back in the olden days, you had to take a guess as to who was listening because there ain't any real ratings around here. But it's nice to be able to see that we've got X thousands of people that are listening of a certain demographic, of a certain age range that might be potentially interested interesting to advertisers that want to reach those ears.
Okay, so question. This is in you probably didn't want to get this question. But do you take that then and translate that to the sales team? And have they been effective and be able to go out and say, here's who we reach, here's who you reach, and this is a match?
Yep, from time to time. Not all the time. Generally, when somebody asks for it, then I can pull it, because the numbers are changing all the time. It's a dynamic market. So these numbers are good for the last 30 days, I suppose. And another 30 days, people come, people go, love the format, hate the guy, whatever. It's a little bit of an in and out. 10 away from the top of the hour. I got to go. I got a bigger name on line one. Phil Flores from the Bank Pacific. Yes, that guy is on the line. And we were chatting a little bit last night in one of the groups somebody sent me, and it kind of scared me when they did. It was a note from Mr. Rubbishman that said that they have got to, for the first time in a long time, will now have to pass along the cost of transporting trash, basically, from businesses to the stations. Good morning, Phil.
Hey, good morning. Good morning, Jerry. Didn't mean to chase you out of there because you're a bigger name. But anyway, no, we had to, and it's not just Guahan Waste, because we do a lot of hauling. You'll see us in town. And we try to haul in the morning before the roads get crowded, because a hauling truck, it makes money when it picks up and brings it back to a transfer station.
Yeah.
That has to be. That's why the guy comes to your apartment at 6 in the morning or 6:30 in the morning, as opposed to 12 in the afternoon. And then we haul, I think 8, 9, 10 of the transfer trucks from Harmon to Lejeune, and not just on our hauling. Everybody else brings, all the other companies bring it in there, and so we combine it at one spot to make it efficient. But yeah, it's increased. Our fuel cost has gone up by over $40,000 a month, $500,000 a year. And the company does well, but just can't sit there and say, $500,000 a year.
I couldn't lose $40,000 a month.
Yeah, and it's in our contract too. There are some things for which we can make adjustments, like if we have to replace the truck that's taking care of you, and it's it costs $400 instead of $350. We don't pass that along to you. But there are some variables on there over which we have no control, such as fuel, and we pass that. Now, I will say it's the first time in my memory that we have done it. And if your hauling costs, we run a real lean operation over there, and we don't pass along a lot of cost. This is in my memory, which is not really good. This is the first time we've done this in a long, long time.
Well, it's unprecedented times. We haven't seen the increase in fuel costs explode as rapidly as it had since the inauguration. So, I mean, nobody's going to fault you for having to respond to that. Otherwise, you're going to go out of business, and then what are we going to have? So you do what you got to do from the business perspective. As I said, every good businessman is taking a look at all of the numbers and trying to manage them as best as possible. So there's going to be a fuel surcharge now to the hauling portion of the bill. Now, I'm looking at this going, well, as far as I know, you don't pick up my trash. I don't know who picks up our trash. I don't know. Real Joe, who's got the bin in the back? Is that one of Phil's? Might be one of Phil's.
It might be.
All right. At any rate, so the idea is now that you pick up the trash of a lot of businesses on Guam that are now going to have to either absorb this 6% fuel surcharge that they're going to get nicked with, or pass it along to the customers. Most of them, I think, will probably end up passing it on to the customers. And I'm worried that this might be reason for guys out there to continue to raise the prices out in the community.
Yeah, and you can pass it along in the same way. In a different way, each company, like saying, okay, now I have to pass you along 6% surcharge, and it's going to cost me 2% to figure out what that amount means. I mean, you can play with it, but I would suggest everybody just say 6%. And also, we made it clear that when fuel prices come down, that surcharge will be adjusted downward. It's not like trying to put it into our permanent cost of operations.
Well, we've seen a little bit of a drift down for West Texas crude. It was under 110 the other day. Today it is back over 110 at 58 cents. Tapis crude, which is the stuff that goes into your pretty car, $122 for a barrel of that. That is off by $6.85. So it's possible that with the tax bypass that they signed into law yesterday, as well as the natural drifting down of Tapis crude, we might see a little bit more of a break than 20 cents in the next little bit. I'm not holding my breath, but we'll eventually see what happens.
Yeah, but that's what we're hoping for, and then that we'll be able to come down. But, you know, when you come in and I'll go back 8 years now when the Obama-Biden administration was saying gas would get to $7 or $8 a gallon with the intent of having people transit from fuel-driven vehicles to EVs, and then even now that it's gone up to $7 or $8, now they're talking about getting your EV, and they're going to try to make EVs less expensive because buying gas at $7 a gallon is no easier than buying an electronic vehicle at $70,000 an gallon.
Well, I mean, yeah, okay. So that's me and you talking about going to buy a car at those prices. But you're in the trash hauling business. Are there electronic battery powered trash hauling machines, and how much are those?
They're around 500,000. We'll be taking a look at one in July in, of all places, Las Vegas, and at a waste expo show there. But even when you're making these electronic vehicles, you know, you're powering your manufacturing with coal-based and oil-based fuel. And then what happens? I mean, I think it can be conquered, but that question that what happens like 20 years from now, when all these batteries have to be replaced, where do we put them? Because they're going to be toxic. But I'm hoping that there are scientists thinking about that right now, what to do with the dead batteries 20 years from now.
What are we going to do with the dead batteries? What are we going to do when your $500,000 trash hauling vehicle needs to have the batteries replaced? How much is that going to cost?
Yeah, that's all in the equation because that's expensive.
And your maintenance guys that know everything about a diesel engine are going to have to figure out how they're going to figure out the mechanics of battery-operated vehicles, direct drive motors, et cetera.
Oh, you're absolutely right because we're now in college. We've been in the waste hauling business for 40 years, and the trucks that were coming out. Excuse me. The trucks that were coming out were more sophisticated, and at first we're just bypassing the boards and kind of like trying to make it like an old-fashioned truck.
Mm-hmm.
And when we found that out, I said, no, you can't do that. There's a reason. There's a reason for those. Learn how to use those. You know, because there's going to be natural resistance to change. And but I think of course, you know, if there's a 50-mile-per-hour fully loaded 80,000-pound trash truck coming up behind you, and you don't hear it, and that's the real silent killer.
I'm sure that there'd be something. They do that with motorcycles as well. They put fake noises in there so that people can hear them as they pass by bicycles too. Last question for you before I let you go here.
Sure.
I don't know if you've been paying much attention to it, but it's certainly getting worthy of a lot of conversation. Is the idea of this smart park, Tenda Town, that they want to put together over at the Joseph Flores Memorial Park. You got a little skin in that game. It's named after your grandfather. What do you think of the idea of this Tanui Famagoon that Governor Gutierrez and others have been debating?
You know, Joe Teichman wrote an article about it for the PDN yesterday, and I wrote him back yesterday afternoon. You know, Joe, it's a really good article, but the name of the park is Joseph Flores Memorial Park.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes, I'm sorry, that's what people call it. Well, you know, I'd have to see more plans, and I'm not sure who's up front in the development, but this is going to sound simplistic, but as long as the bathrooms are clean, I don't have any problems with it.
8 o'clock in the morning. As usual, it's always a fun conversation with you, Phil. I'm going to let you go. You have a fantastic day, and go Golden State Warriors, huh?
Oh, well, the Dubs are the word. And they were down Market Street yesterday, and Draymond Green jumped off the bus and went over and got some ice cream. And oh no, it's great. 2 years ago we were the worst team,
right?
And we're back. And then they took it from us our first night at Chase, and everybody was kind of like shell shocked. And then we took the next 4 or 5 games, and we won.
There you go. There you go. A lot of that is a great and rabid fan base, folks like you. 8 o'clock in the morning, Phil. I got to run. I'll talk to you later.
Good to have a good day.
I will. Stand by now. It's time for Fox News here on The Point.
Multiple times.
3 counts, all remarkably close, which showed that President Trump did come up short.
Raffensperger testified in person along with Arizona's Republican House Speaker Rusty Bowers about conversations with members of former President Trump's legal team.
You are asking me to do something against my oath, and I will not break my oath.
Bowers says he was asked to recall Arizona's electors bound to President Biden. The Select Committee says Republicans in several states attempted to send an alternate slate of Trump electors to be counted on January 6th. On Capitol Hill, Jared Halpern, Fox News.
Contests in 3 states tonight. In Alabama's runoff election, Congressman Mo Brooks, who former President Trump had endorsed, faces Katie Britt. Trump's now backs her. There are also contests in Virginia and Georgia. As President Biden considers a holiday on the federal gas tax, White House Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre says the president's energy secretary is taking action this week.
I can confirm here, I know it's been kind of been reported out there, Secretary Granholm is going to be meeting with the 7 CEOs on Thursday, this coming Thursday.
President Biden said yesterday he hopes to have a decision on gas tax holiday by the end of the week. Senators are close to an agreement on bipartisan gun legislation. This comes 9 days after a framework proposal which would toughen background checks and beef up penalties for gun traffickers was agreed to. Votes could come later this week. The jury in Bill Cosby's sexual assault civil trial has reached a verdict. It'll be announced in a California court this afternoon. America is listening to Fox News.
Half a day, this is Honey. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit apl.com.
Howdy, folks. It's KFC's Colonel Sanders, and I'm bringing you a delicious KFC chicken flavor just in time for summer. Introducing my new KFC Grilled Teriyaki Chicken. It's our great KFC grilled chicken made with an authentic sweet and tangy Japanese teriyaki sauce that the whole family will fall in love with. Pick up a bucket at your favorite KFC location and bring home the teriyaki love today. KFC's new Grilled Teriyaki Chicken is available for a limited time at your favorite KFC location. KFC, it's finger licking good.
The nation's highest court won't get involved in lawsuits brought against the maker of a weed killer.
The Supreme Court on Tuesday rejected an appeal by Bayer to stop thousands of lawsuits the company faces from people claiming its Roundup weed killer causes cancer. The justices leaving in place a $25 million judgment in favor of a California man who says he developed cancer after using Roundup for decades at his San Francisco Bay Area property. Bayer has argued that federal regulators have repeatedly determined its products are safe and the lawsuit should be dismissed. Rich Dennison, Fox News.
Cleveland Browns quarterback Deshaun Watson has reportedly reached an agreement to settle 20 of the 24 civil lawsuits filed against him by women who accused him of sexual assault and harassment. An attorney for the women said in a statement the settled lawsuits will be dismissed once the paperwork is done. Watson has denied any wrongdoing. The richest man in the world is a step closer to acquiring Twitter.
Billionaire Elon Musk gets a green light in his bid to take over Twitter, whose board of directors unanimously recommended shareholders approve his $44 billion buyout offer. According to an SEC filing, the board stating they determined it to be fair and in the best interests of the social media company and its stockholders, who'd be entitled to $54.20 a share once the merger is complete. The Tesla CEO has cast doubt, though, on the the number of users on the platform and Twitter's assessment that bots make up fewer than 5% of users. Lillian Wu, Fox News.
Broadway theaters will no longer require audiences wear masks starting next month. The Broadway League made the announcement earlier today that mask wearing will be optional. In May, most theaters lifted proof of vaccination to enter. The league says the policy will be evaluated on a monthly basis. I'm Lisa Lacera, and this is Fox News.
Half a day. Patsy Gogui from Security Title here with information about what a title company does. The title side of our business determines who owns a property and guarantees your ownership with a title insurance policy. The escrow side acts as an independent third party, managing the transfer of money and documents between the buyer, seller, lenders, and others. Security Title has a management of real estate closings down to a science. Give us a call. We are here to help.
Choice Broadcasting introduces their unbeatable lineup of morning shows. Hands down winners of Guam's morning radio battle.
Daryl Lizama grooves his way through Boss 104 playing Guam's favorite classic hits.
Morning Mouth Ray Gibson shakes the cage on 93.3 The Point.
And now, we are proud to announce the Morning Blender with Kyle Mandapat, mixing it up at sunrise on Star 101.
If you're an advertiser trying to reach the most valuable ears, we've got the shows that listeners have been tuning into for decades.
One call gets all three.
671-888-7346. That's 888-REIO.
Are you looking for a new place to hang out with your friends? Let's go along the sidelines at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Located at 154 Iriarty Road, Unit 4 and 5 in Tamuning behind Royal Bigs. Sidelines, a hidden gem with nothing but great things to offer. Great atmosphere, great food, top shelf drinks, and a great team. What are we waiting for? Let the fun begin at Sidelines Bar and Grill. Open daily from 3 p.m. to 2 a.m. See you there.
Your local news is brought to you by Nambo Insurance. Skip the line, pay online. It's fast, it's easy, and it's secure. Visit Nambo.com for more information.
Half a day, it's 8:06. I'm Donna De Jesus with a look at your local news on The Point. A mother charged with the death of her baby who was drowned before being taken to Two Lovers Point remains without an attorney. The grand jury has indicted 28-year-old Aisha Nichelle Copeland, a Navy sailor, with charges of aggravated murder and murder, both as first-degree felonies. Although Copeland made too much money to be appointed a public defender, her potential lawyer, Randy Cunliffe, said she may qualify for court-appointed counsel. Court documents state that Copeland drowned her 16-month-old daughter in a bathtub last month and then tried to drown herself by placing a microwave on her body to keep herself under the water. Copeland told investigators that she argued with her fiancé the night before. Authorities found her at Two Lovers Point carrying her daughter in a carrier and threatening to jump. Copeland is being held at the DOC Women's Facility on $100,000 cash bail and was ordered to be moved to the Behavioral Health and Wellness Center Annex at the prison. Governor Lulian Guerrero signed Senator Joe San Augustine's Bill 295 into law yesterday. A 6-month moratorium on fuel surcharges and most liquid fuel taxes is effective immediately. Lawmakers passed the measure last week during the emergency session on several bills tackling rising fuel prices on Guam. Prices are likely to keep rising, but the now Public Law 36-105 suspends the excise tax of 15 cents per gallon of diesel and 14 cents per gallon of regular grade gas. The governor says the rising cost of gas is not related to the pandemic, but to the Ukraine conflict. She adds that the situation cannot be controlled, but the local taxes can. Local gas companies say that the tax moratorium would translate into savings for customers. More local news coming up after this.
Go green, go hybrid, go to Nanbo Insurance, and your next power bill is on us. Insure your hybrid car at Nanbo and get up to $350 towards your next power bill. That's instant savings for keeping our island clean and green. Nanbo has been providing Guam with over 50 years of reliable and affordable auto insurance. At Nanbo, it pays to go green. Terms and conditions apply. Visit nanbo.com or call 477-9754 for details.
The Guam Police Department is asking for a budget increase of more than $14 million for next fiscal year to keep up with hiring and the recent pay raises enacted through executive order. GPD has lost 113 workers from 2019 to the present. The island's forensic lab is currently not in operation, but is in the process of reopening following a one-week work-study program in Hawaii's DNA lab. The department has announced openings for a police major and dispatchers and expects announcements for lieutenants, sergeants, and officers soon. The department plans to spend $2.2 million to recruit an extra 40 officers and another $2.6 million on a long-delayed round of promotions. Delegate Michael St. Nicholas and his running mate Sabrina Salas Matanani were the first gubernatorial ticket to file its candidacy yesterday, with a renewed call to the governor to release more federal pandemic relief funds to residents. The governor will be delivering her State of the Island address tonight and said earlier that while there is still about $320 million in unspent ARP funds, that amount has been fully dedicated already. St. Nicholas says he thinks politics is what is delaying the release of more direct aid to people. St. Nicholas and Salas Matanani will be challenging Governor Lulian Guerrero and Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio in the Democratic primary, while the gubernatorial ticket of former Governor Felix Camacho and running mate Senator Tony Ada is the only one running on the public Republican side. The Camacho, Ada, and Leon Guerrero Tenorio gubernatorial tickets have yet to file their candidacy documents with the Guam Election Commission. And those were your top stories. Now back to Ray with something.
Well, I'm trying to. I was looking for a graphic while you were doing the news because you quoted the governor who said that all of this has to do with Putin and Russia and Ukraine, which in my mind is horse poop. Is that the word I want?
Pretty close, Ray.
Really close, man. There's a moose dropping is what that is. So I was trying to find, and I was successful. I was successful, mind you, in finding the graphic that I'm looking for. I can put it up on the screen now because I have that much technology in my hands. This is what's happened to the price of the average price of gasoline in the United States of America. Sorry, I can't show you the graph for Guam. I haven't been keeping track of it as closely as I should, but they're close enough together between Tapas and West Texas crude and the price of gasoline in this country. So what you're looking at is the graphic, and if you don't need a whole lot, but I'll describe it for you. It shows fairly stable prices for gasoline leading up to the election in 2020. Remember that when Joe?
Oh, I do remember.
81 million people voted for Joe Biden.
Man, what a campaign he ran!
Woohoo! And then we've got the election, and then you can see by and by it's not marked, but January of 2021 when he got into office, and then you can see what's happened to the price of gasoline. It started going up right at the election. As soon as the guy got elected, people knew that it was going to be curtains for the energy industry here in the United States of America. And the gas companies had responded, and then inauguration day, the guy comes out with a bunch of executive orders, basically starting to pull the curtains on the fuel industry in the United States of America, and then we really saw some increases in the price of fuel, the price of gasoline, et cetera, et cetera.
Come on.
So when you hear tonight that the high prices of gasoline that they've worked to a bet, because we've got now this moratorium on the fuel taxes, and they say, well, it has everything to do with the Russians and Ukraine. Bull crap. It started at the election. It started right there. And you can go back. It's easier to find these days. In fact, one of the groups that I have has a video where it was a debate. I remember listening to the debate. I was in my car at the drive-through pharmacy, picking up some stuff and listening to the debate and listening to Joe Biden saying basically that he was going to transition as quickly as possible to less fossil fuels and more renewable stuff. And you got Trump saying as plainly as possible, oh, so you're going to kill the energy industry. Are you listening, Texas? Are you listening, Pennsylvania? And that is almost a direct quote from the debate. So when you get gaslit on fuel prices tonight in the State of the Island address, just remember that graph that we're talking about on the radio. 8:13 in the morning. Suppose I ought to get into some weather. Did you go outside, Real Joe? Is it snotty?
It's muggy.
Muggy outside?
Yeah, but there's sunshine.
That's nice. Scattered showers, thunderstorms, partly sunny, as he says. Highs near 86 degrees. With a heat index, it'll feel like 90 tonight. Same thing, scattered showers and thunderstorms, but darker and cooler, about 77 degrees. Not a whole lot of wind blowing around these days, but a nice cool breeze in the downtown Agutnia area last night. It was sweet. Scattered showers and thunderstorms and more tomorrow as we await the passage of a whole bunch of clouds in our area coming out the east. Sunset tonight at 6:50. Hashtag tell the others. Is soggy one last night, but I'm not going to complain. I'm not going to complain because there were a couple of. There was sitting at Moses eating my Tinatla Chutney and talking to my friend Francine, and across the way is a couple of really good looking girls. And they paid their tab, and then they split. What? There were. Yeah. I'm just saying. And they paid their tab and split. And they walked out to the front door of Moses, and it was coming down in sheets. And they came back inside. Ordered a couple more beers.
I thought you were gonna get an umbrella.
Watch me finish my Tinatla Chutney. It was a beautiful thing. 8:15 on the Ray Gibson Show. I'll be right back.
Wow, nice smile. So perfect and all.
Thanks. I owe it all to Dr. Robert Yang and his smile team. They do wonders for a healthy, happy mouth.
Got teeth? Don't wait until they hurt. Schedule your routine checkup and cleaning with Dr. Yang and his smile team. Suite 119 in the East West Business Center, Upper Tumon. Call 647-8702 or 3.
The best thing that happened to teeth since toothpaste.
Dr. Yang and his smile team.
They make smiles happen.
I'm attorney Thomas Fisher, and I'm running for senator. I'm not the typical candidate you're used to seeing. I have no relatives here, no political obligations, and no personal agenda. If you're tired of being disappointed by your lawmakers, maybe different is what you need.
Vote Thomas J. Fisher for senator. If you want different, vote different. Log on to TomForGuam.com for his platform and look for Tom on Instagram and Facebook.
I'm Thomas Fisher. I not only approved this message, I wrote it.
Drake Diaz, treasurer.
Hey. How about that? It's got Johnny Monster doing the tag on a commercial. 8:15 in the morning. What am I supposed to do? Portions of the program brought to you by my friends over at American President Lines, APL, global presence with a local phone. Hey, local home. I'm sorry. I say because I was thinking about this. I was talking with Jerry Roberts about the Tesla phone, and here's this picture of it. It's all camera on the back all the time. Actually, I don't know. It's a pretty handy phone to have out there. But you know what? They've got these cars over at Nissan. And I forget which one, or maybe it's in all of them, but because they're superior technology. They've got a thing in the center console area where you put your phone on it. And it will charge.
Osmosis,
it's
right?
Charged by
right?
Yeah,
is
I know.
What it is?
It's like the thing that you got attached to your desk. I've got one in the studio here. I got one for the occasional time I come in with and my phone's not charged. But they've got one like this.
That's what that is.
In the dashboard of the car.
Wondering what the heck that thing is.
It's built into the dash, so it just looks like a dash.
No, it's.
I mean, like it's just flat. Yeah.
You put your phone there anyway.
Yeah.
And so you put your phone there anyway, and while it's there,
it's conspicuous part of the design. That's cool.
It is very cool. So
I want one of those.
Go to NissanGuam.com on the World Wide Web, figure out which car that's got it, and then swing by and put together a deal starting with 0 down payment. They know times are tough for people, but you still want to get a new ride. Maybe you want to get a new ride that gets better gas mileage than the one that you currently have. So 0 down payment, and it's going to feel like you get a raise when you're not buying so much gasoline that goes into it. And fantastic deals, super easy financing, 1.99% APR, which is about as low as you're going to get on a new car anywhere. So might as well get it at Nissan.
It's the Ray Gibson Show. Morning talk that matters. Call now, 888-TALK. That's 888-8255.
And at 818-888-8255, 888-TALK. Haba a day. My name is Ray. Thank you so much for being a part of the program here this morning. I appreciate it. I appreciate you being out there, as I'm fond of saying, but don't say it often enough. I'm here, but I'm really glad you are there, listening on the radio or checking us out on Facebook Live, YouTube Live. Well, remind me, I got to check the YouTube guys. I haven't checked out the Resistance all morning long. See if Who's Your Daddy's online. If everybody's flirting with Gemma.
Yes.
I think there might be some other side chats going on that we don't even get to see on the YouTube side. More on that a little bit later on. Like, follow, share on whatever it is that you're listening on, so that you get the notice from us when we go live. Number one, and number two, purely selfish reasons. There are a lot of advertisers now that are keying in on those kinds of things. Hey, how many followers do you have? How many likes do you have? So I don't personally, doesn't make anything as long as I know that you're there. But the advertisers respond to those kinds of numbers. So do me the favor, if you like what you're listening to in the mornings and the afternoons and all day, do me that favor and make yourself known, and then I don't know. Advertisers will continue to support what we do and what we try to do here on Guam, which is to make your lives better, bring you the news, bring you the information, put a smile on your face as often as possible. And I wanted to spend a couple of minutes with my very close, very dear personal friend, Dave Del Solo online. You know, I can't, Governor Gutierrez is off island, so you're the next best thing, nephew. We get into these arguments here.
That substitute anytime.
We get into these arguments every once in a while. Who's Carl Gutierrez's favorite nephew? And I go, of course it's me. And Dave goes, no, it's me. And Tom Todd, he's off on the side laughing at both of us.
Yeah, well, you know, I was there when I was 5, so I got to beat, buddy.
By a lot. 8:19 in the morning. Dave, I wanted to give you, I talked with Denise Mendiola from over at GCC about this last week, about, these boot camps that they've got over there, and all the new ones that they've got coming up. They're going to be doing one with like home care, like, I don't want to say hospice care, but that kind of thing, being able to become a caregiver. They're going to do a boot camp on that. And just, was it yesterday, they graduated a whole bunch of bus drivers who were hired immediately. This is how good this program is, and I wanted to give you an opportunity to crow about it and to talk about your participation at DOL with these boot camps.
This was a big undertaking between ourselves, DPW, GCC, and Kloppenberg Enterprises. And this is what happens when we partner together. Good things happen. So we selected 20 people that got interviewed, and they started working at DPW immediately. This is like a hybrid boot camp where they start working, they start understanding the bus process, scheduling and everything, and they're being trained by Bruce Kloppenberg and by GCC, taking classroom and actual driving experience to get that license for the bus driving. And so they were working and learning at the same time, and then 15 graduated with their license to operate buses, and they are going straight into a job at DPW, full-time job.
And they need the manpower. Not enough guys on the road right now for work that they've got to do. And when it gets to be school time, in fact, even with summer school, there are buses running.
Yep, and so they're preparing themselves for the summer. And this program worked so well that we're going to do it again in about a month or so, and we're going to try to do it for Guam Mass Transit.
Guam Mass Transit.
They can get.
I know the Kloppenbergs family, Mr. K, and all those guys out there. But it's worth pointing out. I saw this just this morning. Call the guys over at King Bus Tours. Joe is looking for bus drivers with a D license. He'll pay $17 an hour. So you might have another partner that you might be able to work with. And my guess is, as more and more as Uncle Carl and Jerry Perez keep winning over at the Guam Visitors Bureau, we're going to have a need for a lot more bus drivers to take our tourists around.
Yep, and this is just like I said. This was the first class that went very well and was very successful. And we're just going to keep rolling these things out along with many other boot camps that we're partnering with GCC, Guam Trades, Mariana's Training, from medical code billing to truck driving to, CNA, certified nursing assistants, the whole gamut, home care. So there's a lot of training dollars from all our programs, from our WIOA fund, dislocated work. You've heard me talk about this, that we're doing some big things. It's now time to get up and get to work.
Says the guy from the Department of Labor. Move from the couch and go find a job. You say, "Well, I don't have the training for that job." Well, we'll give it to you for free. The evidence is it's in the newspaper this morning. The evidence is there. As these guys received their diplomas, there were already jobs for them. The employers were standing by. Here's the key to the bus. Go to work now. Punch in.
Yeah, and they're good paying jobs. And as our island grows, we're trying to get growing with them. Stay tuned. We got lots of big things coming on. And, this is just a tip of the iceberg as we start coming out of this pandemic and getting back to life as usual. And this is the time to get into the ground floor of a new occupation or new career. I mean, if you don't if you can't take the training or the boot camps, all the hotels are hiring. A lot of the service industries are hiring. You got everybody hiring. Everybody's hiring, and you can move up so quickly because you can get in the ground floor of any new businesses or that are opening up. And now's the time to do it.
You got me thinking about you got to find Shelly, my sister, and find out when they're going to start the job fairs over at the Crown, the old Fiesta,
and,
the old Daiichi.
Yeah. Oh, she's over there.
Oh, she's in plenty of places. That's among her responsibilities. Yeah, and she'll get me some information. I know that they're the targeting opening dates and things like that. But before that, I'm sure there'll be ample opportunities to get signed up. And again, if you don't have the skills, check out GCC, call the Department of Labor, and find out what they can do for you. 8:25 yesterday at 9 o'clock. You opened the doors on the. What is it? I don't want to say job readiness workshop. How'd that go?
Readiness. That went great. We had a full house, and we have another one coming up on June 28th.
Yeah, next Tuesday.
So I strongly recommend anybody who's going to be going out to these job fairs or who's looking at polishing up their resume and polishing up their interview skills that we're offering these free of charge and to get you ready. To get so that you have your, when you get that stack of applications, you want yours to stick out and you want yours to shine. And we have SHRM, which is a Society of Human Resource Management. These are professionals that do nothing but hire. So they know what they like to see.
Well, I let my HR people fire. One of my least favorite things in the world, and when you work in a shop where you've got an HR, you don't have to worry about it. Just you call them up and say, so-and-so's out today. Can you take care of it? And they will. It's great.
And it's I tell you, hiring and you're going through a stack of 100 job applications is daunting.
Well,
so you need to have that, that yours stick out and shine.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to teach you. And how to interview.
I talked with Janella about this yesterday, Chanel, and or have you called her Jelly yet?
Yes, I said that the first time she started working with me.
Yeah, I know. She texted me later on the day, said, "I'm going to kill you." And I've got get in line, baby. 8:26. So, but I mentioned, if you're an employer, where you need to be. If you're an employer that is hiring, you need to be at the third floor training room at the GCIC building next Tuesday at 8:30 and 9 o'clock in the morning, because there will be people there that want to get off the couch, that want to get back to work, so much so that they're ready to take a job readiness workshop. These are people that are already inspired to at least show up someplace and upskill and shine up their resumes. So obviously they're looking for something. And if I was a smart employer looking for employees that have got a little bit more on the ball than the average bear, then I'd be there with my business card. Hey, listen, when you're done with this, I want you to bring your new and improved resume. See me directly. Or I'll tell you what do these things go? 3 hours? Yeah, 3 hours?
9 to 12.
Yeah, 9 to 12. Meet me at Moses when you're done. And and we'll talk about a job.
I'm surprised I didn't think of that. That's a great idea.
Yes. Start calling the guys that are hounding you for employees and say, I'm going to have about 30 here on Tuesday at noon. So be ready with your business cards and brochures about your company and take some of the good ones to lunch.
And always know that any business that's out there that's thinking about doing a job fair, we are available to assist you. All you need to do is call down to the AJC, the American Job Center, and we can provide assistance for you to receive, to help these clients come in and fill out their applications and make it a little bit easier and less staff intensive for your business.
Done.
That is a service that we also provide.
475-7000. Again, Tuesday is the next job readiness workshop. Listen, I know how busy you are. Now that Uncle Carl's gone, you're going to have to pick up the slack, so I'll leave you to do your work.
Thank you very much, and I look forward to speaking to you a little bit later this week with another big announcement.
Happy to tell you what. Work it out so you and Chanel come by the office. I'll have a haircut by then.
Oh, okay. Look forward to seeing that.
There we go.
Bring food.
I'll talk to you later. I gotta get the long distance from Utah on the line. Johnny Utah's there on line 2. Good morning, Johnny. Welcome to the program.
Good morning. Good morning, Ray. real quick here, Mike Lee is our senator, our non rhino senator. He's the only one that's really good here, but he submitted a bill called the Ship It Act. I don't know if it's not getting much publicity. I'm sorry, go ahead.
You sent it to me, and I took a look at just that graphic, and I thought, okay, this is something we're talking about on the radio. I'm glad that you called it in. Let me put the thing up on the air while you're talking about what basically is the Ship It Act.
Well, what triggered the Ship It Act was the traffic jam at our ports on the mainland, and what Mike Lee came up with was the idea of the inland port expansion, and Utah ended up becoming one of the main areas that looked like a perfect opportunity for an inland port, meaning, get the stuff off the ships, but don't stop in Los Angeles or Seattle or San Diego. Just get it directly inland into an inland port. But the reason I sent it to you and I'm bringing it up on your show, because it does have effects with Guam in that the bill has many attributes for shipping, including limitations on the Jones Act. There's just a lot of really good things about this. It's like Trump era politics where it's like cut the red tape and just let's get things done. The bill is amazing. The things that it's going to do is going to make the economy move, because products will get to on the shelves a lot faster. But if you look at the bill, there's a lot of detail in the other two things that I sent to you. There's a lot of things that inhibit shipping, especially to territories, that will be removed from if this bill is passed. Now, here's the problem. The bill's not going to get passed right now. With the Democrats running the House and the Senate, the bill is not going to get passed. They took 3 parts of the bill already and put it in one of their own bills and passed that. And it was primarily pertaining to inland shipping here in the United States. The parts that would affect Guam were not included in what they passed.
Oh, drat.
But which is pertaining to the Jones Act. But his bill is still tabled. It's in a committee being reviewed. And come November, this is probably going to get passed.
We would hope so. We hope that there is a significant red wave that would include guys like Mike Lee being able to establish a majority in the House and the Senate, get it through and get it veto-proof, so we don't have to worry about Biden.
Right. And the House of I'm not exactly sure if Biden can veto it. I don't know how that would work if you have both a Republican and a Republican Senate and Republican House. Maybe he can.
But it's also possible that there might be a whole lot of support, because we've had Republican majorities in the House and the Senate in the past, but not been able to get any relief from out from under the Jones Act. So it might be one of those things where the lobbyists are just kind of hitting up everybody, and bills like this will never see the light of day.
It also includes the Department of Defense and it's giving support in ports. If they have the ability with their trucking that they have in moving things out of ports, getting material to ports, there's waivers for the Jones Act. There's waivers on truck drivers on their requirements for all the rules that they have to go through. Yeah. There's just so many good things about this bill for commerce and for shipping, and especially Hawaii, the territories, and anything along the coastlines that is directly affected by shipping, including the mainland too. But those areas that really get affected by shipping, this bill is in direct pertain.
Right. Well, I'll take a look at it. One of the notes here is that in addition to Matson, there is American President Lines, global presence with a local home, and among the reasons why APL is here is because they're working under that carve out that you were referring to, which means that there is available shipping and support between not just the United States mainland, et cetera, but also to ports where there are military facilities and military bases. So that's one of the reasons why they're allowed to sail around here. At least that's my understanding of it.
Right. Yeah. It involves the Federal Maritime Commission and the Maritime Administration on, constantly having meetings and going over this thing, over shipping, having NATO ships assist that are part of DoD contracts in dredging ports to allow more ships in. It increases the technology for shipping.
The Jones Act. The Jones Act is completely backwards. I mean, that comes from the early parts of the last century, and really requires somebody to take a look at it because you're missing out on some significant upgrades in technology for the shipping to make the ships more efficient. But they're new, and they aren't making new ships in the United States because they don't have to, because the Jones Act protects them. But you got all kinds of other countries that are doing incredible work in the shipbuilding arena, but those ships cannot work out here because of the Jones Act. There's so many different things that we could spend 4 hours talking about the Jones Act as they are trying to get out from under it in places like Hawaii and Alaska as well. And there we go with two major states, coastline states, water states, and they can't get out from under the Jones Act. So it will take a significant amount of collaboration and work to be able to get. Maybe Jimmy Moylan might be able to help out your guy, Mike Lee. I'm going to send the paperwork that you sent me to Jimmy so he can start on that when he gets to Washington, D.C.
Yes, yeah. Mike Lee is working for us. He's a good Republican. Utahns care about the United States. We love our country, and this is just legislation that is good, that is going to help us.
Which is, it seems to me that there are people in the Democratic Party that are hell bent on destroying this country. So whatever armor we've got in front of us, that'll help. I got to run, buddy. I'll see you soon.
All right,
buddy.
Adios.
All right, and thanks very much for teasing me with your power bill, $46. I hate you.
Hey, that's how we should be living, not like how it is.
I get it. I get it. Out here in the fringes of democracy and the fringes of commerce, and we're stuck buying the closest gasoline, the closest oil we can get our hands on. Is there cheaper oil? Yeah, let's go to Russia. I think in Russia you can still get a barrel of oil for about $77. Oh,
no, thank you.
No, we don't buy from the man that fights bears. Okay. Darn it. Time for our last look at big news and headlines, or we'll be right after these messages. Don't move.
Come try Guam's original Chamorro restaurant with Pica's Best 5 years running. Mezcla Chamorro Fusion Bistro. Experience Chef Peter's candied salmon over scallion coconut rice, octopus to naktak, Chamorro platter, and their award-winning gourmet hamburgers. Or if you're looking for something healthy, try their keto-friendly menu. Come and enjoy Mezcla's half-a-day service at their Hagåtña and Grand Plaza Tumon location. Call their Hagåtña location at 479-2652 for reservations.
As part of our ongoing commitment to keeping you connected, GTA is proud to participate in the Affordable Connectivity Program. The Affordable Connectivity Program, or ACP, provides eligible households with a $30 credit toward internet or mobile services. And now, if you qualify for ACP, you can get internet for as low as $28 a month. We're making it simple for both new and existing customers to apply this credit toward GTA internet and mobile services. To see if you qualify, visit gta.net. GTA, we start with you.
Yeah, Demon, I'm with you. I'm looking at some of the comments on the YouTube side. Interestingly enough, it showed you a little bit of behind the curtain stuff on who we seem to be talking most to on this radio station. Folks between 45 and 54 years old. That's kind of our peak age demographic. Folks younger than that, older than that, also very successful in reaching out to those listeners. But a significant number of female listeners on the station, which is, as I said, kind of unusual for the talk radio format, which some people believe is more of a male-dominated format. But when we start looking at the numbers on the YouTube side, mostly guys. Mostly dirty boys on that side. Led by Lupang Guam and James Howard. And they have a different set of conversations that go on that side. Damon says, and I agree, we need a no jab. We had COVID the natural way card. So there needs to be, if you've already had COVID, even if you get a breakthrough case, you're probably not going to suffer too much from it. What is, I don't want to say amusing, but I'm gonna, I don't want to say it's amusing, but it is kind of amusing to hear about people that have gone through the double jab vaccination process, and have gotten boosted maybe 2 times, and they still get COVID-19, which leads me to ask the question, what the hell? Period. No question mark. So what? I don't. Why is there still a rush to get people vaccinated? Now including infants. We need a boost for the infants now.
My kids.
The state of Florida. The state of Florida, DeSantis says, we haven't even ordered the stuff here. I think it's going to be one of those things. If you want to get a booster shot or a shot for your kids in Florida, go to Georgia, because we don't have any.
State won't do it.
Go drive to Louisiana, because we ain't doing that around here. We haven't even ordered it from Pfizer. And can I just, one last just annoyed riff. Can I do this? Because it just pisses me off when I'm hearing people say, well, the big oil companies are making just obscene, heinous profits. Oh, it's profit people. How come we're not hearing those same people complaining about the insane and heinous profits that the drug companies are making?
Because they invested, Ray.
Yeah, is that what it is? Is that what it is? Okay, yeah. And somebody making a point. There it is. You know, the largest, the biggest country on the planet, the United States of America, and we can't even own up to our own mistakes. You got the president of the United States of America, and what's he doing? Blaming everybody else for all of the problems that he, this administration, and the willing media and corporate, not greed, the medical corporations have, they've done all of this stuff. But we're not going to own up to it ourselves. We're going to blame Putin for all kinds of other stuff. We'll blame as many other people as we can except us. Anyway, 20 away from the top of the hour. And as I said, about time for our last look at big news and headlines with Donna D. Good morning, Donna. What happened?
A judge still has to make a decision on 2 motions before a former DOC deputy director can go to trial. Joey Akfaji Terlahi, who is also a superior court marshal, was indicted in December in connection with an incident at a former Zonya Mayor Jussie Blas's ranch in 2017. Terlahi filed a motion to have the charges of felonious restraint and official misconduct dropped on the grounds there was not enough evidence. The second motion involves a prosecution request made to exclude GPD reports from evidence. And Lieutenant Governor Josh Tenorio has tested positive for COVID-19 for a second time using a home test kit. He first tested positive in August of 2020, a few days after the governor's own positive result. The governor's director of communications, Crystal Paco San Agustin, says Tenorio will work from home for the duration of his isolation. The price of regular gas dropped by 19 cents after the governor signed the Gas Tax Relief Act into law yesterday. The measure suspended the excise tax of 15 cents per gallon of diesel and 14 cents per gallon of regular grade gas. The suspension will be in effect for 6 months. The price of gas dropped from a record high of $6.49 a gallon to $6.30 a gallon. And GDOE students will be receiving $157 of Pandemic Electronic Benefit Transfer, or PEBT, based on 19 days of COVID-related school closures. Acting State Director of GDOE's Child Nutrition Program, Frank Cruz, says the amount would be increased based on absentee records that show students were out due to COVID. This is possibly the last round of PEBT assistance that students will receive. Cruz says more information should be available toward the end of the summer. And that is your last look at local headlines.
I like that when you're in the store and you're behind the family and the kid whips out the EBT card so he can buy King Car and hot Cheetos, flaming hot Cheetos.
Yeah.
And the mom is like, no, you can't do it. We need to buy food with that. And the kids go, hey, it's my money. Because I think the cards are in their name, right?
Yes.
Kids are people too.
Yeah, because it's supposed to cover for the school lunches and the snack.
Right.
And that's probably what they do get if they have like a snack shack there or something. I don't know how it works.
What, at the schools?
Yeah, do they? How does it work?
I think the kids are trying to figure
they
out
got it
how
like
they
free.
can get...
They have free stuff, right? It's free, right?
Where, in the schools?
Yeah,
they
isn't
get
it
free
lunch
food.
free?
Yeah, they got
I don't know.
I don't go to school. Yeah, there's a lot of it. That's why they got the PEBT cards.
Yeah.
So when they weren't in school, then they weren't getting those free meals.
Mm-hmm.
And somebody decided, well, let's give the money directly to the kids, as opposed to, I don't know, saving the money. There's other things I'm sure that we could have done with that. So they took the money, put it in these EBT cards, and have given it to the kids. And as I've said, this has become a recent phenomenon with these kids that have got these cards with money that they didn't earn. And so they're using it to support the kid economy by going out there and buying crap the kids like to eat with these EBT cards. And I'm sure if this was available like when I was in school, just bad things would be happening. I would
What would you get? Pop rocks?
I'd find a way to be able to convert that to I don't like drugs, alcohol,
Smokes.
smokes,
Cigarettes,
whatever it is
yeah.
to impress the chicks. Here, I'm going to take this. I'm going to get money from this, and I'm going to buy you a vape with it. Kids like that stuff, right? I'm just saying,
they do.
I'm capable of sinister thought from time to time. Anyway, 8:44 in the morning, and as I said, the governor's State of the Illusion address tonight at 6:30 should be on the governor's channel, I'm sure the legislative channel. Here's the part that's going to suck is you won't be able to chime in with your comments. Now, I will find out from Cousin Troy if they're going to be running it on Candid. With like on the Candid Facebook page.
Yeah, comments enabled.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Because there needs to be that. There needs to be that, the people over at the legislature and the governor's office, gutless, they don't want to see what people really think. They're not going to be happy with, I think, a lot of the comments from a lot of the people that watch this show about, hey, wait a second, hold on. Hey, about this. So before the gaslighting starts, I want to find out, I want to make sure that there is a method for which you will be able to comment on what she has got to say in the State of the Island Address. And I don't know, I've got, there is a little bit of a drinking game that I'm working on. At 8:45, when she says we're in this together, that's a shot. Gonna have to take
I'm
a
gonna
shot.
Shotgun a beer.
If she blames something on Russia, shotgun. In the very least, a shot. Have you ever done that? Where you take like a beer, a full can of beer, and then drink it one shot at a time? I did this with a class of 85 guys once, and it just, wow, oh my God, just it hits different, Joe. You drink glasses just by the shot. So you finish the shot and then you pour. But anyway, so
I'll be ripped by the Inafresi, Ray.
Okay, so like if and then if she says programming anything, and what do we have, like 4 programmings since COVID-19?
Yes.
All right, so there we go. So that's going to be a shot as well. Not Rise Act, All Rise Act. I got to be specific here in some of the language that she's going to be using. If by any chance she utters the word checkpoint or roadblocks,
I highly doubt it. I don't think she's going to say those words, Ray.
If she does, that ought to be one where the person across from you has to take a shot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
They got
penalties.
like a penalty. If and I don't think it's going to happen, but if she gives credit where credit is due in the form of an accolade or a request for a standing ovation or at least a round of applause for former Governor Carl T.C. Gutierrez and Jerry Perez over at GVB.
Oh, yeah, celebration.
Definitely. You go outside, honk the horn, whatever. I don't think it's going to happen. I don't think it's going to happen. No.
You know what she's gonna congratulate our congressman, Mike Nicholas.
Oh my God!
If she says that, man, I'm gonna give you $200, dude. and I'll streak.
And you'll streak. 8:47. What am I missing here? What am I missing in the drinking game for the State of the Island Address? You know what to do. Oh my God, there's that. Write that down. 847 888-8255. Hit me up on the Facebook Live or the YouTube Live. Dying to know what you guys think. I've got to take a quick break. Be right back.
$15 might not get you that far, but Chili's is bucking the trend with $15 meal deals. At Chili's, $15 gives you not 1, not 2, but 3-course meal deals complete with a drink, a starter, and an entree. Mix and match 3-course meals 15 ways to Sunday with soup, salad, or chips and salsa to start, and ranchero chicken tacos, honey chipotle crispers with rice, bacon ranch quesadillas, or personal fajitas for the main course. Build your own $15 meal deal at Chili's. More life and great value happen here.
Gas is expensive, so let the bank come to you. Through our remote deposit capture, you can deposit your checks into your account from your phone. And with our Dynamite Bank Pacific Visa debit card, you can use your money anytime, anywhere. It's the perfect combo.
Now we're banking on the future. Services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Crank it up.
Belen Sidell checking in. I guess she's back now. I think she went up to the Philippines as well. And she had already packed up the Facebook Live version of the Ray Gibson Show with a whole bunch of Valentine's likes. I said, thanks for the Valentine's, baby. And she says, each day is Valentine's Day. And I'm like, that's a lyric from one of my favorite songs in the world. My Funny Valentine, Frank Sinatra version.
Okay.
Yeah. That's the best. That's the best. Oh, I've still got this graphic up on the screen.
Oh, Beetlejuice.
Because it's funny.
Oh, no, that's not. That's the mayor of Chicago.
That's the mayor of Chicago.
Well, I'm sorry. My bad.
Lucky people. 8:49 in the
She looks so healthy, Ray.
Right. I got you. I'm here. Jess Mendiola online. Hey, brother, how you doing? Did you hook up Mark Baldiga with a whole bunch of guys?
Nice, Prim.
And we'll get that front area, dude. Because I want to see what's behind the wall over at Sandcastle. I mean, you've seen it, right? You go by there?
There's special things happening behind
I know.
there,
It's classified right now. We're not allowed to see that until it's done. And it seems to be taking a long time to get done. Mark Baldiga had to reach out to me. That's how desperate the guy is to find some construction help for the work they're doing over at the Sandcastle. Can you imagine just how low he must have been, thinking, my last resort is to call Ray Gibson and see what he knows. But I hooked him up with Jess. I don't know if that's working for everybody. They're both smart guys, so I'm sure it is. Dave Lazard, Mike Grace Bloss on. Hey, Sherry Iriarty. Dave Lazard reporting that diesel $7.27, almost 28 cents a gallon. And that's why the guys over at Rubbish Man and Guan, waste, came out and said for the first time ever, we cannot just continue. Phil Flores said they were losing $40,000 a month because of the increase in the fuel charges. And you don't. It's the trash business. There's no easy way out. There's no solar powered trash compactors that we've got out there. Who else is playing around? Frank Menu, Bunkers Online. Jules Tejano, Naomi Taitano, good morning to Marsha Wong and Renee Benny. Nas Santos, N-O-S, Santos is online. Mercy Wenzel is there. John Santos, Brennan Fausto, Sally Higgins is watching the program. I see Jennifer Leon Guerrero Mendiola. MST-MG is there. MST Master MG what? Major Sergeant?
Major Master Sergeant Command.
Janice Munoz, Hava Eric Ada, and Terry Cepeda watching the program. Christine Santos, Arlene Castro Guzman, and Marie Pelobello saying good morning to everybody. My bro John Guerrero hanging out. Dennis Benzer referring to something that Jerry Roberts mentioned about some of our listeners. Says, yeah, they're a bunch of whack jobs. And he says, whack jobs? You mean deplorable? Wait a second. Deplorable? You mean ultra MAGA?
Oh, yeah.
You remember every time they try to insult us, it's just one of those things where, you know what, I'm going to wear that like a badge. I'm exactly that. I am ultra MAGA. Does it upset you? Good. Charlie Robeson, don't leave out the pronoun protective listeners. Who is it? The governor of Michigan did a speech where she referred to women as menstruating people. Just what the hell is wrong with folks anymore? We need to be able to do that. And I think there's not enough places where, I don't want to say that there needs to be a comfort zone or a First Amendment zone. But every once in a while, there needs to be some place where we can go and say, what is it with you whack jobs? With you whack jobs out there? What is the matter with you? We call them women. They're not menstruating people. They are women. There's a whole gender that identifies as that. Why do we have to come out with this kind of, distinction? It's a menstruating person. It's a woman. Yeah, but what if the woman was originally a guy? Well, then it's a guy. You don't need to use the menstruation or the possession of a cervix to be able to determine all of this stuff. There's a video that I want to watch.
Is it a Disney video, Ray?
No,
I'm sorry.
It is a video. If I've got it right, I've only read the description on Twitter, and it is a transgender individual who was triggered because somebody misused a pronoun, and there it is a knockdown, drag out fight. I tell you what, it's, them's fighting words. Hold on a second. I can put the video up, but I don't think we can play the thing on the screen. Is that where it is? Yeah, there's the Twitter. I think this is the Twitter. I don't know. But like I said, just keep the audio down because I'm sure that there's going to be some kind of off-color, some kind of language here that is going to be offensive to everybody. But hold on. There it is. There it is on the screen. You can see the woman reaching around. Is it McDonald's? Is it at McDonald's or someplace just getting into it with people? And so this is the part that I love here is the people that work there are not taking this lying down. Oh, you're throwing this at me, I'm throwing it back.
Yeah.
Oh, just throwing it with wild haymaker throws that they got there. I don't know how long this video goes. Is somebody trying to hold him back, it back, them, they, whatever back? And it just looks like it just continues to escalate here. I don't know if the police were called, but this people, there's some kind of mental illness that is sweeping across the country, and I don't know what more can be done about that. Ain't that some crazy stuff there, huh, guys? People running away. I got to get out of here. I don't want to be around this crazy lady or guy or them, they that's throwing this stuff around.
People that work there, man, those are real people.
I know it.
And they will throw hands.
Oh, my God.
Be nice.
I don't know, guys. I don't know. Just some crazy stuff going on out there. Tesla phone, is it battery operated? Well, it better be. Chet Huggin online. Randy Landis, an electric-powered BTC. What's a BTC, bro?
Bitcoin rate.
Sounded like that. 20,931. I don't know what that means. Jenna Joe is there. Have I already said that every time I see Jenna Joe's profile, I want to right-click?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
Me too, Ray.
Senator Dave Duenas-Biba online here this morning. I got Areola Sill online. Sandra Ray, just whether or not you agree with a constituent, they want to meet with you and meet and listen to them. Pretty sad some senators refuse meeting with people because they don't want to hear what you got to say. They've already correct in their head. Who else is playing around? Jose Tepahago, Julie King at Zon Farnham. There's Yabit Camacho, Sean Valencia, Norma Hagen. There are no Normas here. There are only normals. Yes. Welcome to the show, Normal. Lena Perez Taiting Fong is watching the program. There's Geronimo Matsumiya on the show. Marie Rojas. That's what the governor did during lockdown. She encouraged to report gatherings. Yeah, you remember that?
Yeah, snitch on your neighbor.
Yes, that program,
Yeah,
and there were people.
Cash.
Oh my God, there were people that did that.
There's a reward.
Yes, I remember that. I get these things from people that say, there's so and so is having a party at my house, and I'm uncomfortable. There's cars in the neighborhood. They're not supposed to be doing that. Who do I call? And I'm like, I don't know. I'll never, ever tell you. I will never, ever tell you what number to call, whether it's DPW, the police department, the FBI, or the National Security Agency. I will never, ever tell you because leave people alone. That's why. That's why you should leave people alone. And even though you don't like it, too bad. Let people live their lives. And all of this after we already had COVID. That's the thing. This is the thing. When we talk about peak dumbness, when they closed the airport, because they wanted to close things out, and they put everybody in quarantine because there was going to be COVID. And there was an idea that, if we put up this border and we don't let anybody in town with COVID-19, we'll never, ever get COVID-19. Well, it seems to me after we identified COVID-19 on Guam, pretty much that game was over, right? Why did we bother to continue to quarantine people? Well, we want to prevent the spread of COVID-19. But there's already somebody here that's got it. And what are we going to isolate this guy for the rest of his life, or this girl?
The hospital, Ray, man.
And remember,
it was moldy.
And you remember they had that big party at the Chubaki? The original super spreader event?
The pretty people.
And the pretty people. I never get called to those things anymore, and that's okay. Maria Rojas, Danny Guerrero, there's Belen, Priscilla Castro-Torres, Joe Boyne, and I think it's Joe Boy and Nadine Cruz are watching the show. Nice to have families that play together. Jess Franquez, the State of the Island Address, what time? 6:30 on the Legislative Channel. Sorry, I have not been paying attention to that. Not looking forward to it. I might throw up. Jay Dewan is online. Good to see you there, bud. Who else? Norma San Nicolas. Again, you're not Norma here. You're normal. Johnny Yu and John Ananich. John Ananich, congratulations, bro.
Here I am, Lord. Is it I, Lord? Vote for me.
He dropped off his packet the other day. One of a growing number of people that are on the list.
Man.
That's it, buddy.
Huge packet.
So who's going to be dropping off their packets today? Who's going there? Carlene Cruz is there. Tattoo Shauna online, Lulia and Adam Safer there, John C.S. Macho online, Roman Ramirez, Pat Saho, Joey Toves, Carl Meyer says Hoffa from Busan, Tina Garcia, my buddy Galo Perez. I used to call his office just to prank the operator. Yes, who would you like to speak to? I'd like to speak to Galu. Bakit? Diba? Joe and Goko, I would take an in-depth look at funding for the Guam Behavior and Wellness Agency. Felix Bamba is there. Juanita Machi says, I'm voting for you. I don't know if she said that too, but she is. Vince Paulino and Judy H. Leatherman is watching. Right-click on that profile right now. Any woman named Leatherman, that needs some kind of attention, investigation. Marjan, Conception, and Jose says, don't forget the wedding crashers, GPD and public health, the first day of tyrant governor's illegal mandates. Yeah, that was the one floating around on YouTube. They had guys at whatever it was, and they're sitting around playing poker and all of this, and everybody.
That was a funeral, man.
Bang, bang, bang. The Department of this, Guam Department of that, Division of whatever. Every single one of them was ID'd. Good morning. Been listening via Alexa live stream and YouTube now, adding Facebook. Thanks, Donna Mila. I appreciate that. Hey, I got a breakaway. It's 9 o'clock in the morning. Fox News Live is coming up. We'll find something in here that'll trigger us, and we'll talk about for the next hour.
The polls. I'm Lisa Lacera. Polls in Virginia and Georgia are now closed as runoff elections are held in 3 southern states to decide who moves on to the general election.
The Alabama race most will watch tonight is for the GOP nomination to succeed Senator Richard Shelby. Katie Britt and Congressman Brooks will vie for that. Democrats Yolanda Flowers and Malika Sanders Fortier will square off for the right to face Governor Kay Ivey. In Georgia's 10th district, both races will run off tonight. Democrats Tabitha Johnson Green and Jessica Four, as well as Republicans Mike Collins and Vernon Jones. Also, Republican Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger will find out who his November opponent will be as Democrats B. Nguyen and D. Dawkins-Haler face off. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
Polls in Alabama's runoff election close in about an hour. A bipartisan group of senators has reached a deal on gun reform. They say it will keep schools safe and reduce the threat of violence across the country. Votes on the measure could come this week. At today's hearing of the House committee investigating the January 6th Capitol riot, Georgia's Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger testified about then-President Trump's phone call asking him to find over 11,000 votes for him.
What I knew is that we didn't have any votes to find. We had continued to look. We investigated, like I shared the numbers with you. There were no votes to find. That was an accurate count that had been certified.
Today's hearing focused on what the committee said was a pressure campaign by Trump to reject state tallies. A California jury has found Bill Cosby sexually abused a 16-year-old girl at the Playboy Mansion in 1975. The woman, who is now 64, is awarded $500,000. The decision comes nearly a year after Cosby's criminal conviction was thrown out and he was freed from prison. America's listening to Fox News.
Are you looking for job opportunities? That's perfect. Taiho is a company based in Korea that provides opportunities for people to work at production sites in the United States. They offer a wide variety of jobs that may suit you. Come and check it out. For more information, visit www.gotomainland.com or go to their office at the old iConnect building or call 671-648-9788. What are you waiting for? Go grab that opportunity and fly out to the mainland.
Hoffaday, this is Severina. Here at APL, our expertise and extensive network can help you grow your business and reach out to more global markets. As a responsible carrier, APL is also committed to a sustainable future, whether it's protecting the environment or investing our efforts in giving back to the community. Our dedicated teams in Guam, Saipan, and on U.S. mainland are here to support you. Call 588-4651 or visit www.apl.com.
Now,
the South Dakota Senate has convicted Attorney General Jason Ravnsborg in an impeachment trial over a 2020 car crash where he struck and killed a pedestrian. The conviction triggers his immediate removal from office. After a weekend of flight cancellations and delays, the pilots at one major U.S. airline hit the picket line this week, saying they're overworked and underpaid.
Southwest airline pilots are picketing outside the company headquarters in Dallas, warning of a rough summer travel season ahead. Southwest Airlines Pilot Association President Captain Casey Murray told Fox 4 in Dallas their union needs a better contract with the amount of extra work they're doing that they're not getting paid for.
I think all of our guests are seeing where pilots aren't in position to operate their flight. They're taking delays. There's cancellations at times. We're tired of saying, I'm sorry, on every flight.
During the pandemic, many were furloughed. Some airlines encouraged early retirement packages for pilots, but rehiring attendants and pilots requires a time-consuming retraining process as well. Jessica Rosenthal, Fox News.
Commuters in Britain left scrambling as the union calls a strike.
It's the biggest work action in 30 years, leaving passengers stranded. Trains screeching to a halt with about 4,500 of the usual trains in service running on the tracks, leaving no service for most of Scotland, Wales, and England. About 40,000 staffers walking up the job Tuesday, and they will again Thursday and Saturday, angry over what they earn and job security. Prime Minister Boris Johnson says commuters must stay the course, urging management and unions to agree on a deal. The London Underground was also mostly closed. Tube workers launching a strike to coincide with the rail action. CJ Papa, Fox News.
Researchers from the University of Colorado are studying fireflies native to the Great Smoky Mountains to determine whether understanding the way they communicate could help with developing robot communication. I'm Lee Silasara. This is Fox News.
Hey, it's me. I'm calling because I heard this ad on the radio about free training at Guam Community College for people interested in providing childcare. I heard registration, tuition, and all the fees are covered. And when you're done, they pay you for on-the-job training at a daycare. Anyway, it totally made me think of you. So check out Gita online at investguam.com for what you need to apply, and then call me back.
This ad is paid for with federal funds administered by DPHSS.
Attention! Lolita Kamet is now with Hoffaday Realty. She'll always be that hardworking and passionate real estate professional who is committed to helping you make a difference in your life and helping you achieve the American dream of home ownership. She also specializes in commercial leasing, land sales, local residential sales leasing, military and corporate relocation. So for all your real estate needs, call Lolita Kamet now with Hoffaday Realty at 688-6743. That's 688-6743.
Subway's Eat Fresh Refresh brings you the sequel to the Sweet Onion Chicken Teriyaki. Enjoy the new Sweet Onion Steak Teriyaki. Delight your taste buds with tender, juicy steak marinated in the tangy new Sweet Onion Teriyaki sauce and stacked high on toasted artisan Italian bread, topped with American cheese, green peppers, red onions, and drizzled with the tangy new Sweet Onion Teriyaki sauce. The new Sweet Onion Steak Teriyaki is the height of food craveability. Give in to your cravings at Subway. Eat fresh.
Okay, I will. Good plan. Hi. Holiday portions of the program brought to you by the guys over at American President Lines APL Global Presence with a local home also being brought to you by NissanGuam.com on the World Wide Web. I give you their website address because I want to save you money. Gasoline is $6. Well, some places it's still $6.50 a gallon, but there are other places where it's closer to $6.30 a gallon. We got the word now. It's the mobile stations are down to $6.30. Is that right? And has anybody called in with a 76 Circle K number yet?
I believe, yeah, they dropped to 2.
Okay.
Let me find out the exact number.
And if there's anybody lingering around a Shell station, give me the numbers on that one. I know 76 Circle K was talking about doing that at 10 o'clock last night. But anyway, I digress. Go to NissanGuam.com on the web where you will find out about all the great cars that are waiting for you at Nissan, all the great summertime deals. And you can tell it's summertime because they put this together for just about everybody for just about every ride, 1.99% APR. And that's got to be the lowest interest rate that you're going to get on automobile loan, really on any kind of loan, what with the Fed and inflation and all the things that they are doing. But here's the big deal, 1.99% APR, and you get that with zero down payment. Zero down payment. You walk in, just you and a couple of paychecks, and the guys will take a look at it. Zero down payment. Now, if you've got a vehicle that you want to give up in trade, no problem. We'll take that. Give it to the guys in the used car place. They'll do a 32-point inspection, and you'll be looking at somebody else driving that down the road. But your brand new car, maybe a beautiful Sentra, Rogue, huh? How about the Titan? How about the Frontier? My kind of rides, ladies and gentlemen, and waiting for you. Zero down, 1.99% APR with my friends over at Nissan.
Bringing you closer to the action. Any speaker, anytime. Watch and listen live on ThePOINT.gu.
All right, Real Joe getting information, clandestine information that the Shell gas stations now are matching the mobile stations down to, what is it, $6.29.9 or something like that?
Yes, sir.
All right, so the 76 guys said that they were going to do that as of, so that I guess that means it's universal now. You are not paying.
Is it time to party now, Ray?
No.
Oh.
But you are not paying taxes on the gasoline anymore. That's good news, and I'm assuming the diesel is in there as well. So a little bit of a break here. And do I want to? Oh, my God. Thank you, government of Guam.
Yes.
Thank you, legislature. Thank you, members of the legislature that voted in the present majority to be able to support this measure that would give the people of Guam a break. Where were you in January? Where were you last year when the price of fuel started going up? This has always been an option. Oh, we're looking at the calendar here. This is what's going on. You got the guy on the radio asking people if their lives are better now than they were 2 years ago. Is your life better now than it was 4 years ago? And a lot of people are saying, no, not even close to where I was 2 years ago. Go look in the pictures on your phone. Open. Faison, check your phone. Go back. Google will do this. Google Pixar will do this for you. They will will remind you about how good you had it 2 years ago. They will send you. The faces. Oh my God! At all the different places, smiles because but 2 years before the whole thing, 4 years. They go back, take a look at all of those pictures. Imagine how much fun we were having back in those days. How affordable everything was. I mean, you always needed to think about putting gas in the car. Do I got bucks for that? Whatever. But it wasn't one of those things where it was an all-consuming, where do I go and how do I adjust my lifestyle now because gasoline is $6.50 a gallon. I've always had a power bill to pay. And I tell you, and I've told you how I do this now. I believe in prepaying because I know I'm lazy and I know but one of these days it's going to come down to, oh crap, I forgot to send GPA a check and they're going to cut off the power, which might account for one or maybe both of my divorces. But at any rate, so what I do is I have First Hawaiian Bank. I've got those recurring payments, so I just send. I want to say it's $200 in the first part of the month. Another couple of weeks later, I send another $200 to have First Hawaiian Bank send that to GPA. Do the same thing with GWA. Do the same thing with the guys over at the solid waste.
Oh yeah,
yeah, because the bill doesn't change all that much. And in fact, I had overpaid. I prepaid GWA so much that I was able to skip 3 or 4 months worth of payments. And I'm glad I did because I need that money for the power bill now. Yeah, I'm a little bit of ahead. So I was thrilled with that. And now I think I might have to up that to what's it going to be? $300 every couple of weeks to GPA because the power bills are up so high. The LEAC is up there, and then we've got issues with it being hot and everything that is on in the house is basically trying to make me cooler and comfortable, or make the water hot. Although it's been so hot, my buddy and I were talking about it's been so hot, he noticed that even the water coming out of the cold tap is coming out warmer than room temperature.
Could we live without the hot water heater, at least for the tough times, Ray? Are you looking at shutting off something so you could alleviate a little bit of pressure?
Dude. No.
I've been sitting there in my garage just thinking of how do we bundle this?
Yeah.
How do we get some savings?
I don't know. It's an interesting question, and I've done, as much. I mean, I've always been frugal with my electricity. I've never been one of those guys that is,
leave the door open.
Leave the door open, waste money. Aircon when I'm not home. I even got one of those the little things, the Cielos that you can find online. And it can control the air conditioning, and you can do geofencing so that when you leave the house, it will go off, and when you get within a mile of the house, it'll come back on. And I'm going, no, I'm going to turn it off when I leave. I don't need it to be on when I'm not there.
But if you don't remember, you can shut it off from
I can shut
afar.
It off from here. Yeah.
Oh, smart.
Exactly. So you got that. 9:13 in the morning. I asked him for, and he sent it to me. John Ananich. In addition to, eventually becoming a senator in the 37th Guam legislature, he also runs a place called Sidelines Bar and Grill. I'm looking forward to this, although I'm not sure that I should. But they're going to eventually, maybe late July, start opening for lunch. And the reason why I got to be real careful with this is because I can see myself going in there for lunch, have a couple of cold beers, and just stay. It will become my new office.
You'll never leave.
I'll never, ever leave. All right, so somebody was asking me what's going to be different about their menu. And I said, all right, let me see if I can get a copy of it and just go through some of the items in there that you are going to love. They will have grilled oysters. Grilled oysters.
Oh, man.
Disco cheese fries, which is flaming hot Cheetos, crusted mozzarella cheese sticks, and fries with 3 cheese jalapeno sauce and brown gravy. Put the toilet paper in the freezer now. Smoked pork chilaquiles quesadillas, which is smoked pulled pork, mozzarella cheese, chilaquiles in a quesadilla with pickled radish, pickled onions, and I've had their pickled onions to die for, and the Tautomona ranch sauce that they've got there. 4th and 1, which is a 12-inch Nathan's hot dog, steamed bun. They top it with taco meat, nacho cheese, pico de gallo, jalapenos, crumbled Doritos, and a side of fries.
That's a foot long, Ray.
That's and you will love that. Fit Fans grilled mahi mahi. Is that one? Okay, where's the other one here? There's the cafeteria spaghetti. They got some of the other favorites in there. Cafeteria spaghetti, fajita Philly cheese sandwiches, birria nachos, Sidelines fat burger, which you can get as a big burger, but you can also get that in slider form. Crispy pata pupus. Crispy patas, the crunch and the banana sauce. There'll be fish tacos, shrimp tempura tacos, Alamo, all beef patty. It's another burger. Loco Moco ×2. Love that. The Mad Dog Blitz burger and the steak dinner. You got to get in there. Is John? Are we still doing the steak dinner for $15? I think it's going to go until the end of the month for that one.
Great price.
I could be wrong. But the prices are going to be going up on that, so you get in now while you can. 9:15 in the morning. Is that my favorite doctor on the line?
That's our favorite doctor.
Dr. Ron McNinch.
The state of the island.
Huli the system, Dr. McNinch. I've been trying to talk with BJ Penn, running for governor, great state of Hawaii.
Hey, Happy Day, Ray. Happy Day, Guam.
How you doing?
Good.
Yep.
You should run, Ray.
No. No, I'm not
Run
going
away.
to. No, I'm not going. I will run, Dr. McNinch, when they get serious about the paperwork. All of that paperwork that they put in front of candidates is all horse poop. It is all BS. There's nothing in there in my mind that really makes much of a difference at the end of the day. They're going to they want more financial information from me than Daphne Shimazu wants over at the Department of Revenue and Taxation. They're going to make it somebody's full-time job to track every penny that I raise at my fundraisers over at the venue and Pari's and what is it, Franny's old place, Bell's up in Mingilao. Screw that. There's all of this stuff, and I've told you this. They've got a part here where they ask you, there's an affidavit, are you in trouble with the police? Have you ever been in trouble with the police? You say no, but that's not good enough. Your word is not good enough. You still have to go get a court clearance. You still got to go get a police clearance. And then there's all this other nonsense about, what was the other thing that I hated? That I'm going, okay, I'm just not doing this. Pretty much everything. I think that they should make it so, Dr. McNinch, would you like to run for political office? Yes. Which one? Put your signature down and okay, thanks. We'll see you on election day.
Right.
Why we have to make it so hard? You know why? Because they want to, the parties in control now want to remain in control. The last thing they want to do is to make it easier for somebody that is not going to toe the Republican line or the Democrat line to get in there and mess with the process. The last thing they want is an Angel Santos. The last thing that they want is a Tom Fisher. The last thing that they want is a BJ Penn.
Yes. Well, the interesting thing is they're even requiring that kind of immense paperwork for nonpartisan offices.
Ridiculous.
Yeah.
Absolutely ridiculous, and something needs to be done. Did we glitch? Yeah.
A surge.
Well, I mean, the lights are still on, meters are still moving. I can hear Dr. McNinch, so I'm going to assume that we're still okay. 918. If you've lost our radio signal, listen to our stream or find us on Alexa or any number of other places. Tune in, et cetera, et cetera. We'll keep the beat going for you. At any rate, so we'll talk about that. I'd love to be able to get in there. You know what I'd love to do? You know what I'd love to do? I'd love to be a senator at the same time that Mana's a senator. We would totally rule the place. We would absolutely run the legislature. Everybody would be scared of both of us.
Right, especially if you have ideas that threaten them. Yeah.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. But they're ideas that we need right now. The idea that they're going to take a victory lap because they finally got around to eliminating the liquid fuels tax. This is like 4 months into the crisis, and they're just now getting into it. And I'm sure that there's going to be there maybe a conversation here about a couple of other cool things that they're going to try to do between now and then. But the people have been hurting for far longer than they have been thinking about it.
Yes, and the thing is, and I don't want to rain on anybody's parade, but probably one of the worst moves they could have ever made was to reduce the liquid fuels tax.
Why?
Well, in general, they often do these kinds of things without fully looking at what happens when you make those kinds of radical changes. So the liquid fuels tax is attached to a lot of things that are actually very good. And of all the approaches they want to address maybe higher gas prices, they want to address it through just the tax system alone, when actually it's our national leadership that's really, really to blame. And of course, we talk about this all the time on your show. This is an artificial, we had a $2 price increase because President Biden's arrogance in saying that he's going to force everybody to go electric, even though we're not ready for it. And so basically what's happening now is, of course, gas prices everywhere have went up and went through the roof.
Well, when one of the net exporters of oil is all of a sudden it has to become an importer of oil, then that is going to put a lot of demand on the rest of the oil delivery systems and put a significant amount of demand against existing supply. And what we're seeing is basic finance, Econ 101. And it is amazing. It's amazing that the ideas that the idea that they're floating now, blaming this on Putin and Ukraine, is just ridiculous in my mind. Here, I'll put the graphic back up on the screen so everybody can see where the proof is. The proof is that the price of the gallon of gasoline has been going up in this country since the election. And it shows no signs of stopping whatsoever. This is all right. Biden. This is all Biden. All of this happened before we got around to dealing with the Ukrainians and the Russians. And now we've got the governor suggesting that it's all about Putin and Russia. And in the same breath, in apparently the documentation, the governor also says, while there is more work to be done to achieve a comprehensive long-term solution to the rising cost of fuel, including a more meaningful transition to lifestyles that are less reliant on fossil fuels. And I'm going, wait, hold on. No. Does everybody want to go to fossil fuels, get out from under fossil fuels? Does everybody want to drive around in an electric vehicle? And while I'm thinking about it, is the ride that she rides around in, is that electric? Did Jeff turn in the Ridgeline for an electric vehicle? If put your money where your mouth is. If you want everybody else to drive around in electric vehicles and transition to lifestyles that are less dependent on fossil fuels, go ahead. Let me see you do it first.
Not only that, the pipeline that should have basically fed us good oil from Canada through down to our refineries was much more climate friendly than the train system that they currently use. But supporters of the president basically run the railroads, and so they don't want to affect that. And those are much more polluting than the pipelines. It's just all nonsense.
Yeah. Well, how much longer do you suppose the American public are going to put up with this?
Well, here's what I think is going to happen, and we might have said this before, and I think it's good to say again. There's going to be an election in November. All else equal, more than likely, they're going to elect a whole bunch of Republicans. The Republicans are going to pull the same card that the Democrats pulled on Trump. And, indicate that, Biden and his little crackhead son need to go out the door. And when that happens, basically, that's probably when Biden says, I have 6 to 8 week time frame to get out of here and get somebody else confirmed vice president before the Republicans take over, and they can't dictate who's the next vice president. And the scary thing is Harris is going to become the president, and he'll be allowed to bow out because of health after he's totally just ravaged the economy and ravaged the country.
Yeah, as I've suggested, even if we put Trump back in the White House, there's going to be so much slip on this between where we are now and where we need to. We're just getting us back to where we were in December of 2019. I think that's going to be a trick as well. Governor's State of the Island address, or what Kenley Ungaro is referring to as the State of Illusion address. What do you think we're going to hear tonight?
Well, there's some practical things that have to happen in that address. She has to justify all of the corona stuff that went on, the stuff that really made people mad, and she's getting a free opportunity to fully discuss and explain those things. And whether she does so to everyone's satisfaction or not, of course, the big question.
I know a lot of people that are going to turn their noses up at whatever she says about that. But I think there's also quite a number of people that drank deep of the Kool-Aid. You see them still. There was a guy, run into a guy last night, and I reached out to shake his hand, and he hit me up with the bones and I said, dude, COVID's over. He says, COVID will never end. And he had that look in his face like the shaky realization that we'll never, ever be away from COVID. Wait a second. I left the mask in the car. Maybe I should put my mask on. There are still people out there that are like that are still scared because we did an outstanding job of scaring the hell out of a lot of people.
Well, there is the other point is that any flu in the future is going to have the COVID brand attached to it.
Oh, it has to. It has to. Yeah, it might as well come up with a logo, jingle, theme song.
And naturally what happens when you do that is then people eventually stop paying attention to it, and it loses its shininess, it loses its ability to really affect people in the way it originally affected people. Part of
I don't know, buddy. There's still a whole lot of Kool-Aid drinkers out there. There's still a lot of snowflakes. There's still a whole lot of the trophies for everybody generation, and they buy into all of this stuff like you wouldn't believe. The government is their god. It's the religion now.
Well, it's their apparent religion. It's probably always been the religion for some. They've just always hidden it, and they've always kept it kind of quiet because they don't want to, basically let people know how they really feel. But I think that a lot of the excesses that we've seen in government have always been there. It's just COVID gave them a chance to emerge.
Well, they need to go back into the woodwork where they came from. I'm tired of hearing about. I'm tired of the whole woke, politically correct culture that we live in, and want to go back to being able to say whatever it is that needs to be said, and to tell these people, no, you're wrong. And just because you feel different doesn't make it different.
That's going to be an interesting day. Right.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. I don't know. I've already got my drinking game set up. Whenever the governor says we're in this together, blame something on Russia or uses the word programming to describe anything, I think those are all great shot opportunities.
Wow. It just drives me crazy to see them trying to blame everything on Russia. And don't get me wrong, Russia has a lot that it's culpable for, but just gas is so obviously a self-inflicted, shot in the foot.
Yep.
I mean, there's no other way of putting it than that.
Well, like my buddy online said, it's embarrassing that the greatest country in the history of the world now is reduced to groveling before our enemies and apologizing and not taking any accountability for any of the screw-ups that it has made.
Yes, and more than that, I think you saw recently the entirety of Central and South America are just going to become states of China in the near future. That's how radicalized they've become.
Well, I'm worried that we might become colonies of China. Every day I get something in the Google alert that basically reminds me that we are going to be a target of aggression, and there is no reason why the Chinese couldn't, and on a whim, say, tell you what, on Tuesday we're going to take out Taiwan. We're going to reabsorb Taiwan. We're going to they will launch an attack, and they are going to reintegrate Taiwan into the People's Republic. And I think around the same the day before that they'll take out Guam. That's what all the strategists are saying right now. If there ain't too much of a downside to achieve their goal, then they're referring to this as the 21st century Pearl Harbor. Take out Anderson Air Force Base, take out Big Navy, and any of the resistance or retaliation that might come out of here. That's scary. That'll keep me awake at night.
Well, I think there are good reasons to be awake at night.
Yeah, but none I can talk about on the radio. You and I might be thinking about different things. Hey, I got to go. I got enough bad news here. I want to deliver some good news, all right?
All right, man. Hey, have a great day.
I will. 888-8255-888-TALK. Bottom of the hour. Here's the good news. Got this from Aubreen at the advertising agency.
Oh, great news.
United Airlines relaunches Nagoya, Guam, and Fukuoka, Guam. They will relaunch in August, further expanding the airline's nonstop service and capacity between Japan and Guam. United will reopen Nagoya, Guam service August 1 and offer 2 morning departures each week on Mondays and Fridays starting the 4th. 2 Fukuoka, Guam flights are scheduled to depart Thursday and Sunday morning, also beginning August 1. United will increase flights between Guam and Narita City. There will be 21 per week. All flights will utilize 737 aircraft, 16 business class, 150 economy class seats. Come on, United. Come on, guys. Because did you see Jin Air? They're going to 777s, baby. Bigger airlift. Bigger first class.
Yeah.
Come on. It's no fun to get on a 737. I mean, first class is nice and everything, but it's not as nice as like on the bigger airplane. Come on. Let's do some 787s here. Talk to Sam. Tell Sam I said. Tell Sam, Ray Gibson said, on his flights, 777s. Or 787. I don't know. They're not doing a lot of Dreamliners.
Yeah, the Airbus.
Yeah, those are pretty planes. Sam Shinohara says, we are thrilled to announce the reintroduction of service to Nagoya and Fukuoka. It has been our goal to return to pre-pandemic levels and will continue to add capacity between Guam and Japan as demand recovers. All right, that was the third piece of good news that I was delivering this morning. Jin Air using 777s, very indicative of demand coming out of South Korea. Japan Airlines is increasing their service to Guam late July, August, or something like that. And we've got all kinds of people now seemingly clamoring, reaching out to their travel agents in Asia saying, I want to go somewhere. And they're all going, you can be in Guam. You could be in Guam. You could be toes in the sand in very close proximity to Ray Gibson within a few hours. I mean, that's got to be worth something. Don't you think,
Yes.
Joe? You, too, can be sitting on the beach.
It's worth more than gold, Ray.
Got a cooler over here. Maybe it's the one that Ray Gibson borrowed from his rich friend, the Yeti cooler over here. Bikinis all over the place. Just saying. 3.5 hours away. 9:32. Is there somebody that wanted to talk to me about something?
No, they just wanted to say it would be even better news if the airfares were cheaper.
Shut
But,
up.
hey,
I
come on,
know,
man.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. There's nothing I can do about that.
Yeah, man.
And there's the thing is, hey, responding to demand. Oh, there's demand. Raise the prices. There we go.
At least bring back the honey roasted peanuts.
Can we also, if we're adding capacity, I want to go to Bali. That would make such a great welcome back to the land of traveling. Is be able to get on a plane and go to Bali. I know that I'm sure that there's going to be a way to do it. With one of the airlines bouncing through either Manila or bouncing through Narita City, and then being able to go somewhere else on a different airline. But it just sounds kind of crazy. Where I'm going to have to fly 3 hours to go in that direction. On a flight that used to take me 5 hours to go straight down. Anyway, 9:33 in the morning. There's your bouquet of good news. But is there more? Perhaps. We'll talk about that in a second.
Celebrating the graduating class of 2022, Whopper Wednesday is back. Every Wednesday in June, visit participating Burger King restaurants and say, I love the Whopper. And you'll get a free flame grilled Whopper sandwich with the purchase of any Whopper combo meal. Top off your meal with french fries or onion rings and a refreshing Coca-Cola. Tell your family and friends and enjoy your Whopper Wednesday in June. Available at BK Hagåtña, Tumon Bay, Micronesia Mall, and the airport. Congratulations to the class of 2022 from your friends at Burger King. Be your way.
Gas is expensive, so let the bank come to you. Through our remote deposit capture, you can deposit your checks into your account from your phone. And with our Dynamite Bank Pacific Visa debit card, you can use your money anytime, anywhere. It's the perfect combo.
Now we're banking on the future. Services to choose. Bank Pacific, where others put branches, we place roots.
Equal housing lender. Member FDIC. Crank it up.
I want my children to be healthy and safe for the new school year. That's why I made an appointment at the FHP Health Center for their annual checkups, vaccines, physicals, and dental exams. FHP pediatricians and dentists deliver the highest quality of care. I trust them. So can you. Receive a free gift with your child's checkup. For an appointment, call 671-646-5825, press 1. Most private insurance plans accepted. FHP Health Center. Our island, your clinic.
Hey, howdy, everybody. It's a matter of public information, so I feel confident I can put this up on the screen. But I do want to do some shouts to a bunch of people that have turned in their paperwork and their packets. You already know about people like Jim Moylan and Sam Abini and Chris Duenas, big little sister Montecilva Tyron, Sabina Perez. I see Tina Rose Munya Barnes has dropped off hers. Franklin Meadow, who's Senator Bunker, and he says, "Man, don't beat me up too bad for running as a Democrat, bro. I'm a big tent Republican. I'm not a Republican. Sorry, let me just. I am a Republican, Telu. I am a Republican.
Bunker says left wing, right wing, same bird.
Same, exactly. So, but I want to be the breast of that big bird.
Oh yeah,
exactly. Or wait, the claws. Claws of the big bird.
Even the doggin, Ray. I like the doggin.
Don't we all? Turkey tails, bro. I always feel like I got to clarify what you're saying, because otherwise people will say this.
Yes, sir, you're right. Turkey tails.
When the girls leave, when Mana would leave, when Donna's gone, it just turns into like a frat party at that station. All right. So anyway, bro, I don't care as long as you are quote for the people. It doesn't make any difference to me as long as you continue to sit on the same side of the table as all of the taxpayers of Guam, and guide the conversation towards things that make sense for our community. Does the government of Guam need to be as big as it is right now? Are there things that we can trim in the budget without cutting to the bone? Right? We need more police officers. That's a fact. And why are police officers leaving? Is it because they're not getting paid enough? I'll bet that's part of it. You know what I bet the other part is they don't have access to all the tools and technology that they need in order to get their work done. I don't, think about, the vehicles, and I'm always fond of talking about the boneyard of automobiles, trucks, and, cruisers and whatever over at the GPD place.
They go through them like
exactly.
women.
Yeah. Well, but here's the thing. We know that police departments run on gasoline and cruisers and bullets and chicks that we refer to as badge bunnies.
Yes.
Sorry, it just is. But I think, ask me what I think is maybe another reason why these guys are getting out of the game is because they're tired of arresting the same people over and over and over again. Well, what are we doing about making it so that the judges are more comfortable incarcerating somebody in a prison that is equal to its task? You know, instead of this dilapidated old rundown thing that we've got over at the Department of Corrections. They're just lipstick on a pig, Frank. We got to work on those kinds of issues, and then we will get Guam back to what it was like when you and I were growing up. There's Bistra Mendiola.
Biba.
Dave Crisostomo. Is that Dave?
Dave.
Well, I know a bunch of Chrysostomos.
Yeah.
I'm wondering if that's the one here. Vicente Borja. I see Jess Lujan, former Senator Jesse Anderson Lujan.
The body.
Exactly. Joanne Brown, the body, is picked up and dropped off a packet. John Ananich is in there. And then congratulations to Congressman Mike St. Nicholas and Bree Salas Matanani. We were the first people they talked to when they first picked up their packets. They have now dropped off that packet over at the place and are now ready to take on Luli and Guerrero officially for the government of Guam. So the other question is, now that we got the State of the Island, State of the Illusion address tonight, next step maybe is going to be dropping off their packet over in the legislative place. It's 20 away from 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 20 away from 10 o'clock in the morning. I thought this was interesting. At a state convention in Houston, nearly 5,000 Texas Republican delegates overwhelmingly passed a resolution questioning the 2020 election. I love this phrase. We reject the certified results of the 2020 presidential election, and we hold that acting President Joe Biden Jr. was not legitimately elected. Pow, in your face, acting President Joe Biden. That's funny. I'll read you the rest of it, but I want to bring Pete Jr. into the conversation. Buenas noches.
Hey, good morning, Ray.
Hafalai.
Oh, hey, good morning, Alfade. Did you hear about the Secret Service people, the ones that were escorting Biden during his bike ride? They're all being brought up for charges.
What?
Yeah, they're being brought up for charges because they were supposed to put the training wheels on the bike, and they didn't. And they were specifically told to put the training wheels on Biden's bike.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that just came to me last minute. But I had three things.
Go ahead.
When we were talking not too long ago about crime and all the meth and all that, well, I started thinking, and I was going. The biggest supplier of meth on this island is the post office. Let's stop beating around the bush. The post office is the biggest supplier of crystal meth on this island, but they're trying to do something. You know, they're going after it. They're trying to stop it. But my biggest thing is Aperol. Up till now, Aperol has not been apprehended or put in jail. Okay, maybe I'm speaking prematurely, but has he been booked and confined and then released, or was he booked and released? Because here's a guy that committed a crime, a heinous crime. It would get him beaten up and sodomized in prison, because that's the lowest form of crime that you could do is molest and rape children. But I haven't heard anything that he's been brought up on charges. He's being prosecuted. So where's the fairness in that?
Interesting. I don't know. His trial, and then you're hitting me in a blind spot, because honestly, I just thought it was the most heinous, as you say. And I just didn't like thinking about all of that. I pushed that out of my conversation area when I was doing the show. There were other people that had this odd fascination with it, and I was not one of them. Whenever I'd hear those stories, I'd always feel like, man, I got to take a shower. It just feels like this is the dirtiest thing in the world.
I know what you mean.
So I talk to talk to Klitsky about it, bro. Call in this afternoon.
It's cost the Catholic system a lot of money. So. I mean, it's an admission of guilt. So how come they haven't, brought that guy back and made it throw him in jail? Anyway, so that's one.
Yeah.
And the other one is parks. They need to, since they took out the trash can because they're too lazy to go out there and pick up the trash every day or even monitor who's coming and going with household goods. They should take out the barbecue pits. All the barbecue pits need to be removed because if you go, Ipan is a good example. You know where they're putting all the trash? In the barbecue pit.
In the barbecue pit.
So they need to go over there, and it's an eyesore. They need to just go in there and remove those damn barbecue pits because they're not serving the purpose.
Can't use them anymore. Well, here's the and I agree with you. I don't know whose idea it was, but we have a certain level of, and I use the vernacular here, matapeng. There's just people that cannot figure out the sense of it. So the reason why there are no trash cans at our park facilities is because they're afraid that people will bring their trash from home and dump it in the trash cans at the parks and at the beaches. And all these other places. And the answer is, yeah, you know what? They are going to do that. And there are going to be people there that bring food with them, and they want to be able to throw that stuff away as well. And so in my mind, they just need to have somebody go and clean them up, empty the trash cans. And if you got to do it twice a day, then guess what? You have to do it twice a day. We need to keep that there. Otherwise, this place is going to continue to become trash island. Nothing infuriates me more. You know, we got that nice little Bayview place in East Agania, and it has always been a great place to pull off the road. And maybe you got some chow from the BK that you just bought for lunch, or maybe you just want to kick back and drink a couple of beers before take the edge off a day. And you get there and there's trash all over the place because there's no trash can, and people are too stupid to bring their trash home with them, so they just hide it in the bushes. My favorite one is when they take their beer and crap and put it in a plastic bag and then tie it to the tree. Like that's supposed to do something, right? What's wrong with take the bag, put it in a car, and take it home? Or put it in the trash can. But there's no trash cans. And they've got to get back to doing that. And if they're worried about people bringing trash from the house, let's find a way to figure out how we're going to have a universal trash collection service, the same way that we had back in the day. You remember that when we didn't have to pay for the trash?
Yeah.
Well, but it was a lousy system that we had. I will grant them that. It was a lousy system that we had. It was typical GovGuam operation. All of the dump trucks weren't picked up. The guys unmotivated. Everybody had different kinds of trash cans, and the guys would you would go to Benson and buy yourself a brand new trash can. Hey, my God, this is nice. And then you put it out there, and the guys throw them around all over the place. Never mind, can't find the top anymore, so the dogs get into it. Those were adventurous times, but at least we weren't paying for the trash service. There's that's how people got rid of their trash. So what's going to be the new way? How do we do that one?
Well, I don't know, Ray. All I'm saying is Parks and Rec. This is GovGuam property. It's Parks and Rec's responsibility unless they turn it over to the mayor. So then it's the mayor's responsibility, right? So they're supposed to be the one to maintain the word maintain. I don't know what other definition you need for the word maintain, but the word maintain means maintain. You're supposed to maintain that place. That means if you have to set up a goddamn security guy there all day long to make sure that these people who brought their trash in bring their trash back out with them. I was raised up. You leave the place better than you found it.
Amen.
Ray, every time I take my family out here to any of these beaches, I bring an industrial trash bag, the construction bag.
Nice one, thick.
Whatever site that I see that is a nice site and shady, I go over there and I can almost tell you, but I won't because that's racist, that's discriminatory, whatever. But I find the trash, cardboard, just laid out cardboard on the ground. That's the ground covers, the cardboard. And then all the barbecue, makeshift barbecue pit over here, and like you said, maybe a trash bag with trash in it. But these people, this one group of people, they like to leave their trash is scattered because that's the way they were brought up in their island. But they like to leave their trash scattered all over the place.
I hate that.
There's everything. So I got a glove, and I go out there and I pick up all that, and I bring that out with me, and I take it home with me. Because to leave it there, You're going to leave it in the barbecue pit. The dogs just come up there and kill at the the bag.
Yeah,
and all the trash.
So I go down to the beach and I got the bag that my ice came in. I put that on the side of my cooler, and the first thing I do before I even open my mat or whatever, the first thing I do is start going up this way and back that way and pick up any of the trash. But once or twice somebody's asked me, why you do that? And I said, because I live here. That's why I do that. I don't want to lay down in a dump, so I clean up the trash. First thing I do.
Yeah, and here's another. I'm chasing a rabbit now. I'm chasing rabbits here, but these people that complain about the military. I don't know, these Cristobal and her bunch. They complain about the military this, the military that. But the last two places that I went to, and I cleaned up where I had cleaned up my area, a group from the military, one from Naval Mag, and I think one was from Naval Station. They assembled like maybe a squad size of a group, and they went up and down the beach picking up trash. But I don't see a Tomorrow in there. I don't see none of the so-called ancient Tomorrow advocates in among that group. It's always a military guy.
Not when, if you gotta, there's got to be something they can load on Facebook for that. They only do that if somebody's taking pictures. That's what I've noticed. That's the thing that I've seen. Military guys, there's a bunch of hiking groups that are out there that will do that as well. Not for the publicity, not for look at me. It's just because they're legitimately concerned about it. In fact, I know of a group going out on Saturday. I know of a group that's going out on Saturday. I'm not going to say who because it's against the rules for me to say who. Yeah. But if there's people out there that want to get involved in a cleanup, meet up with some really, really groovy people, there will be beer there. At the end of it, get a hold of me, and I will give you information on where you'll be able to find these guys. You need to bring in your own stuff. I think you need to bring in your own bags and gloves and stuff like that, but it's going to be worth it, and they've got the system nailed down. So when they're done, pick up trucks worth of stuff, and they know exactly where to take everything and exactly who to give it to, so they can take it out of the waste stream and so that it's not likely to come up again somewhere. So if you want to get involved in that, by all means, I'll hook you up with these guys. Like I said, they just do it because they love the earth.
I like to see the Outer Islanders because I've never seen any group of them, not even as a photo op, because they have leaders here. I've never seen them organize and go and do something like that where they go around and pick up trash.
Well, maybe they're doing it. Maybe they're doing it anonymously as well. I don't. I'm willing to give people the benefit of the doubt, Pedro. Hey, what was that? What was that third thing that you wanted to talk about?
Well, that's about it. I ran out of my. I have a ration of English, and I've used up all my English for today.
Migo, you keep a string on the radio station. I'd love to talk to you. Love to get the ideas and thoughts from you anytime.
The other was about you. You keep. I hope you never run in in politics because you're needed there at the station to get this crap out. To get the crap out that's going on there at the legislature.
Yeah,
like Rush Limbaugh.
Yeah, I have. Oh, don't compare me to him. That's big shoes to fill. I just like doing this job, and I think I'm more. I have bigger impact. More successful doing stuff here at the legislature. I gotta put up with 14 other people, and I can see myself sitting around just rolling my eyes all damn day. And there's limited time left in my life, and that's not how I want to spend it, dude. I gotta run. I'll break away and see you soon.
Okay, you take care, bro.
I will. 888-8255-888-TALK is a telephone number. What you got? John's on the line. Wanted to comment on some stuff. You're welcome to join the conversation. Hey, John.
Good morning, Ray and Joe, Brother Joe. I thank you guys for taking my call.
Wait. Is this soon to be Senator John Savars?
That's the hope, Ray.
Hey.
The hope is to be Senator Savars come January, and with everybody's support out there, right? That's what's going to make it happen.
What you got for me today?
So I want to talk about something I want to do with Parks and Rec, because I think Parks and Rec. We all know Parks and Rec is grossly underfunded. And I want to figure out how we can create outdoor consumption permits and charge tourists who are coming here, because GVB does have an issue, and take that money and fund it And that's what helps us fund Parks and Rec. Because we don't have a dedicated funding mechanism for Parks and Rec, and I think this needs to be covered in the shortfall.
Oh, well, we already got a hotel occupancy tax already.
Yeah, but right now, the hotel occupancy tax, we've seen how it works, even though it was operating, right? The parks still, the bathrooms weren't open and things like this.
Wait, I'll tell you why. Among the reasons, and do me a favor, tell Becky we'll make some time for her in drive time tomorrow. I want to catch her at peak time tomorrow, and as opposed to 5 minutes before the end of the show. Okay, Beck, love you. We'll talk to you in a couple of minutes, John. So here's one of the other issues: is that GVB doesn't get to keep all of that stuff. Like every other quote lockbox fund, there's all kinds of places that where that money that they have at GVB has been given out to other organizations with just the flimsiest damn connections to the hospitality industry on Guam. And if you've got, go and take a look at, golly, the last time I saw it was at Tina Rose Munya Barnes' one of her laws that came out in the 36th Guam legislature. A whole bunch of companies that had already been told no by the Guam Visitors Bureau. They just went to the legislature and were able to get all of these, quote, special projects funded by those same hotel occupancy taxes, and I don't think that's right.
That's not right. If it's earmarked for us to take care of aspects in our community, areas in our community, it needs to be. That's what needs to be.
Yeah. Well, and so you get GVB saying, yeah, we'd love to be able to do something about bathrooms and trash cans and things like that, but we can't because all of the money, not all of the money, but a significant chunk of the money has been usurped, pulled it right out from under them. They are not in 100% control of the budget that they get from those funds. So I hear what you're saying. I don't want to charge the tourists for anything more because it's delicate, and all of the consumers coming to Guam right now. And in the past, even before COVID, we're very, very price sensitive. So we've got to be very careful about all of the different charges. To us, it might not sound like a lot. I don't know. When I go travel, I just assume I'm going to be spending a whole hell of a lot more for meals and beer and accommodation. So yeah, I can see people saying, well, percent here, 0.5% there won't make that much of a difference. But over time, and given the nature of the competition that we have in the Pacific, I'd be very careful about that.
Yes, and I hear the concern. I also want to bring up, you were talking about about communities. I've seen every community working with my mom and dealing with my mom in the village. I've seen every different community come out, and different areas. I've seen different Micronesian organizations. They deal with Cabras, the beach down there, or not Cabras. By Two Lovers Point. Yeah. They've done cleanups all throughout the island. Every demographic of people have come out. You're right. It's just not about putting it on Facebook and Instagram. It's about doing what's right for our community. And a lot of organizations have stepped up to do things in their own community, in our community. And I want to make sure we commend those people, everybody who does that, and get more people out to do that. Right? We just got to get people excited about taking control of our island.
Oh, my God. Yeah, we got to get crazy about Guam again. That's the thing. I mean, there needs to be a certain kind of Guam mania here that everybody is excited about the community.
We got to learn how to love our island again.
Go find Kaz Endo. He's siding here.
I just talked to Kaz.
Okay.
Or not Kaz. I just talked to the guys at the Blacklist last night. They had an event, and they're bringing that love and that feel for our island. And they're promoting. There's so many people promoting local talent and art here that we need, and they're willing to come out and support our community because they believe in our community and they want it. Guam is home for all of us.
Oh, I agree. So, we encourage that kind of behavior. The guys, the Freedom Grinders, those guys, I love those guys and support everything they do. At Cause Writes this morning says, we need to stop throwing money at problems. Let's deal with the problem. There needs to be an island-wide cultural shift towards littering. Change the mindset and the behavior. But we got to make it easy. I mean, if one of the problems that we have is we got a lot of littering in the parks because we don't have trash cans, guess what? The answer is trash cans. How do we support that? I'll tell you and I'll tell Kaz how we did it back in the 1980s. Hit Radio 100 and Guam Cable TV would call the oil companies and say, we need 30 empty oil barrels, oil drums. And we take those oil drums, clean out the inside, paint the outside, inside, slap some stickers on it, and drop them off ourselves over at EPAL Park and a variety of parks that we had in the place. Now, we didn't go and empty them every day. I mean, that's still the obligation of the government to get rid of the trash, but at least there was something that we could put the trash in. Freedom Grinders did that over by Lupang Beach.
Yes, they did.
Yeah, they did that. You remember they put the trash cans down, and you know what happened? They didn't get saki by thieves. They got saki by the government. I think Parks and Rec took them over to Paseo.
But we can't. We need to just encourage more things like that to happen versus taking what somebody did to revitalize the park and then removing that and just encourage another entity to go and do that same thing.
Well, I mean, whose job is it? Is the Department of Parks and Rec's job to make sure that the trash cans get emptied. So we'll find out how much money they need to get it done, and then give it to them. If it means that we don't, if it means that we don't need to have people at the library going off to conferences, and if it means we don't need a Bureau of Women's Affairs, considering the island is run by women, I don't know what glass ceiling they're trying to break out here. Why do we need to pay for that? Maybe that's going to pay for somebody to go and.
We have a solid waste division. We have a solid waste division with the Department of Public Works already. Why can't we tap into the resources that we already have? If the Parks Department is already struggling, but we have guys out there on the ground every day who are dealing with trash collection, why can't they just drive past the parks as they're driving down and incorporate it in the route?
If you wanted it to be them, it can be them. If you want it to be Parks and Rec, I'm just saying who makes the most sense to be the guy that's in charge of it, and put them in charge of it, and they need to go to the legislature and fight for their budget just like everybody else does. And it's a ridiculous conversation right now simply because the government is sitting on $300 million and what may be over $100 million worth of excess revenue. It's not like we're broke here. It's not as though we're broke. Hey, dude, I got to run because the music's playing in the background and Fox News is coming up. I'll talk to you pretty soon there, Congressman. Platform Committee's final report out of Texas and their GOP convention is still funny to me. Said a Texas independence sections call for the legislature to hold a statewide 2023 referendum to determine whether or not the state of Texas should reassert its status as an independent nation. What kind of hell would ensue if Texas left the republic? 10 o'clock in the morning, the radio station's KUSG. I got you. My name is Ray. Catch you tomorrow.
Era Fox News. The Senate has come to a deal on bipartisan gun legislation.
Votes could happen this week on newly agreed-to legislation negotiated by 10 Republicans and 10 Democrats, enhancing background checks for young gun buyers and boosting funding for state mental health programs and school safety.
Most importantly, it has the real potential to become a law and to create real changes in communities across this country.
Texas Republican John Cornyn led his party's negotiation team. Lawmakers finalized language concerning state-enacted red flag laws and firearm restrictions for cases of domestic abuse. President